Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of Tavern Talk. That's right, Brother Dan is having technical difficulties. He will get back to us shortly. This is the way live streams work. I've been admonished for being late, so we're being tardy, and I am now by myself, and it is scaring the living shit out of me. All right, so let us open the tavern doors and get at it. That's right, I refuse to change that squeaky door. It adds character as I'm... Whoa, what's going on? Computer. All right, Brother Dan, come out of the Matrix! Please come out. All right, so we have all these guests here with us, but let me say real quickly, what is this? What are we doing? Before I begin, I want to take a second and speak to those who aren't watching us live. If you're watching us live, you pretty much know what the F we're doing. But if you don't know what the F we're doing, this is what we're doing. This is a spoiler discussion show called the Tavern Talks. So if you've not read the entire series, please come back. On Thursdays, where we do our first-time reader show. But right now, Brother Dan and I have read the Wheel of Time series many, many moons ago, and we are in our first reread. Tavern Talk is a chance for Brother Dan and I to pick the brains of our expert guests, throw theories at them, speculate wildly, and have our guests pretty much calm us down and tell us what is what, so you get to learn along with us. This episode, we will be discussing all things Aes Sedai, which I'm sure I'm saying it wrong. We will start with a breakdown of Nynaeve's testing. We'll get into what psychologically this all means for her, and what it means for the Aes Sedai to be doing that to each other. Kind of rude. We will take a mid-show break, and we will return for a segment of The Way of the Float with our friend Floaty, who is a first-time reader. After that, we will continue the discussion for as long as we please. And again, stick around for the end of the show for our new segment we are calling Thank You Internet, where we will be going through memes and what have yous we have found on the internet, and we will break them down, talk about them, have laughs. Right? All right. So where are we? I have guests. It's time for us to bring them in. Let me introduce our esteemed guests, MK Genest, Zuul, and TreeXHugger. And books up, books down.
Book with me, and I thought of
it's
that.
all right. You're doing the audible book on your headphones.
I know exactly.
Hello.
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited to see everybody. Welcome to Tavern Talk. Don't you love the digs? It's really nice. These people are just calmly talking in the background. We have a flautist. He plays the same song over and over again for the entire album. We have a flautist who is a kind of an OCD. If he makes a mistake, he has to start over from the beginning and just play the song over and over again. Anyways, guys, how are you guys doing? So, chapters 23 and 24 of The Great Hunt are jam-packed. We have the testing of Nynaeve. And then we go into what I'm calling the BFF Forever Foundation, which is the meeting of the minds, right, between the ladies.
Right.
One of the worst chapters I think I've ever personally read in any book, in any ever. We'll get into that in the second hour. But we're losing people already.
Hey, where'd you go?
But I want to get into the testing. And I want to first ask you guys. Well, everything's going haywire. Everybody, welcome our friend Rob from Malkier Talks.
Hi.
He is. It's really cold in his house, so he's wearing his beanie.
Yeah, this is bad hair. Did not expect to be on TV tonight. The internet.
Okay.
It's all right. It's all right.
Are we on the internet?
We're going viral instantly. Yeah, we're live. Oh yeah, guys, we're live. Remember.
Oh no.
All right,
Okay.
So yeah, we're just getting into it. I was just introducing what we're talking about, which is basically Nynaeve's testing. And, when I think of the testing, I kind of think of the entire situation with the Aes Sedai altogether and the White Tower, and are kind of like, I wonder, are they doing this right? In a bigger picture, are the Aes Sedai in this age getting anything right? Or are they completely fumbling shit and they would never get to the Age of Legends status with the strategies they're using, right? So my question to you is, do you believe that the Aes Sedai, the whole Tarvalon mechanic of raising sisters to Aes Sedai, do you think are they doing it right? Let's just get out. Are they doing this correctly?
No.
Are they doing more harm than good?
I think that over the years, it all went to their head more and more. Their heads got bigger and bigger and bigger, and they made the test harder and harder on them. So they were more exclusive. So it shrank as they went along because they got stuck up. What I think.
Well, and I think they're okay. They didn't institute like the Oath Rod until after the Trolloc Wars. I'm wondering when they started doing this testing because I don't know the answer to that. And the Trolloc Wars around that time, is that when the Black Aja was started by Ishamael? Because I'm wondering if part of what we're seeing here is like the Black Aja trying to do some control.
Like a kind of like a subtle corruption of
right.
the lore, right?
Oh,
well, I mean, you have the Oath Rod, which shortens lives, and supposedly makes people trust you more, but people know how to get around it. So that's something I kind of want to look at in addition to the testing itself, because the accepted test is one part, but then after the final test, then you have to do the Oath Rod, which is the Oath Rod and the 3 oaths are brought up in the testing chapter.
Yep.
So are you asking about there's definitely trauma involved in the 3 arcs? Is that what you're asking about?
Well, I was kind of getting well, yes. I mean, I'm sensing that, but what I'm wondering is and let's bring in our brother Dan. Hey,
hey Dan.
Is this for real?
We missed you. We missed you. We were worried.
We did. We miss you. We love you, brother Dan.
Hi, friends. Gosh darn it. Well, this was a fine welcome to World Puppetry Day.
I was just going to say that on Puppet Day, the internet's messing with you.
I got a message.
I'm proud of you, Dan. You were steadfast.
Yes,
Thank you.
I got a message from YouTube, and the fact that you may or may not be wearing pants was too much of a quandary for them. And they were like, yeah, I can't handle that.
No, they need to know for sure.
My computer was like, hey, now's a fine time to update, right, bro? And I'm like, no. And it's like, no, you don't have a choice in that little bars. I'm like, God damn it. So I'm back. Hey, hello. I've been listening in the background, though.
I know. And it's funny, right? When we mentioned trauma, I brought you in.
Well, first of all, Ryan, did you? I don't know if you properly welcomed and introduced our panel. Did you?
No, I suck at this.
Yeah.
I just started. I was like, what do I do? Let's just start being nerds.
Chapter 23, right, guys? Yep.
I started nerding out.
All right, we have a rock star panel, actually, guys, and I wanna spend a minute thanking you guys and introducing you. We have MK and TreeXHugger. They are the co-brains and creative geniuses behind the Treehouse of Art on Discord and on YouTube now, right?
Well, maybe
not
one
yet.
day. We're not there yet.
Maybe one day.
We
have dreams.
There's potential.
Guys, if you can talk a little bit about this Tree Heart and what you guys are currently doing and what you're talk all things art right now, would you?
Oh,
Tree Heart was a Freudian slip.
Tree Art of House.
Tree Heart.
He said
Heart.
Tree Heart.
It's appropriate though because there's a lot of love in the treehouse.
That's true.
We just discovered that we were artists, and we started going into voice chat and listening to music and just arting together. So
And everyone else's servers.
and
I'm
so
sorry. I'm sorry. Arting.
Arting out.
art
Arting,
venturing. Actually,
It's a real word.
We go on art ventures.
Yes. Which is also a real word.
Yeah.
So we just hang out and we make art from all different, it's not all just Wheel of Time. We have some people in there that haven't even read the books, which is crazy. But yeah, we have a whole bunch of fan art that we share, and we like to just hang out and listen to music and make art together. And sometimes I'll stream my art live in there, and sometimes MK will stream art live. And
nice. Yeah, it's fun. You guys are so encouraging, and there is such eclectic art. Some of it, man, with Pythos Cheetah, he does some stuff that like I like and I don't like. It makes me feel uncomfortable. Yeah. Oh, it's so good. You guys are also we are 3 of the 4 captains in our Wheel of Time based Pictionary game.
Yeah.
That's held the first Sunday of every month, and that is
so much fun. It's
that's its own beast. So yes, thank you guys for being on. Dana Lou. I mean, there's no Dana. There's only Zuul.
That's right.
Hello, my dear. Welcome back.
Thank you.
You're like the rare. This is like maybe your third or fourth time, maybe. You've been on it. Third or fourth. I think you have been on more than anyone else, and I consider it a pleasure and privilege to have you back, and that you are a part of this. Thank you,
Brother Dan. Do you remember our very first episode with Dana Lou was our top grossing episode to date? When it happened,
really?
We would get like an X. I'm not gonna say numbers. We get X number of views per episode, but when Dana Lou came on, it was like, BAM!
Yeah, everyone was like, yeah.
Oh man, I had my lawyers contacting her people. I was trying to sign her up.
That's when we started that LLC, right, Ryan?
She has an agent.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna break it big, but.
You broke it big in my heart. Like that's how I view you guys. Are famous. Like I am in awe right now. I don't.
Starstruck.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, speaking of famous, let's say hello to Rob.
Famous.
Oh, there. Famous
with a successful, amazingly successful stream this morning.
Oh, I did a recording. Yeah, well, afternoon, evening, morning, depends where you were in the world, obviously. But yeah, the Innkeeper and Frenzy, 2 of the main Theorylanders, came in and joined me for a chat live in Discord. It was a lot of fun. It was by far the most listeners I've ever had in a live recording. There was, I want to say we had about 20 pretty consistently, and there was at least half a dozen people that sort of popped in and then had to leave or popped in.
Well, you know, I wanted to get in, but like there's a big line, and they're like, they're like, I'm like, guys, I know Rob. They're like, they didn't like how I was dressed, so I like had to wait.
Were you wearing pants?
And you had to wear pants.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Well, I mean,
We've spoken about this, Ryan.
I am playing Legolas. From
that was good.
Well done.
Very, very well done. Yes.
All right. Well, I guess let's just do it. There's a tradition here where we welcome all of our new best friends with a song. Zuul here and Tree have both been on the show before, and were put up with the song that I wrote. They did so graciously. They sing that song when they wake up at night and they're nervous and they're in their cold sweat. They sing that song to soothe themselves back to sleep. Brother Dan, these songs are curing wounds around the world. Don't ever minimize the impact of your songs. I will say that I do sometimes still sing "It's the Treehouse of Art." It's the tree. Yeah, that one's catchy in my head. That one jumps still in my head.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Like, how do you write a song with art and not say the word fart? Like,
I did it. It was for charity. It was hard.
It was like low-hanging fruit, and you said, nope.
Nope, not doing that for charity.
I said, start.
Smart.
I'm smart. All right, so let me lay down and sing this song real fast.
All
right, yeah. Someday your physical therapist says you're close to being able to play upright.
Someday.
You'll be upright.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will. All right. So this song, because it's for MK, it's called MK Song. All right, let's see. All right, as like all songs, hold on. Can you still hear me?
Yes, we can.
We hear you.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, is that better? All right. All right, here we go.
Bullseye.
Ryan, forgive me, but I say our friend's the best. I've been walking around in my socks all day, feeling #blessed. My heart is starting to beat and sway deep in my chest. I guess what I'm trying to convey is I'm feeling really impressed and slightly immunosuppressed over our new best friend, MK. MK Genest.
So good.
That was beautiful. I'm tearing up a little bit.
All right.
Can I also? I need to kudos not just that song, which was awesome, but also the way we all reacted, because we all just kind of like hands together and went.
We're all used to the quiet mic clap.
Yeah, it's the mic.
Clap.
Yeah, it was very impressive.
It's kind of like steel claps, like we're all seals for a minute.
All right. So, sorry and sorry.
Kev is
Good morning, Kev.
Welcome. You are now our new best. Oh, there are 5 questions. We'll get to that after, and then you will officially be our new best friend.
Okay. Not until
So awesome. Okay, so I want to piggyback a little off of this thing. How effective is this Terangrial? Why do they use it as an initiation, do you think? It's not necessary. There is nothing that dictates that you have to do this in order to be an Aes Sedai. It is merely because they decide it so. Do you think that this is a good kind of way to throw them in the ocean and tell them to swim?
I think that they just want to make it as hard as possible because they want to be as exclusive as possible. I know I keep on saying that, but I think that they're they just want to make sure that it's as hard as possible because they don't want so many people joining, and I do think it's like Dana was saying earlier, part of the Black Aja infiltration of the White Tower. That started that.
Well,
I didn't think of that until you said that, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe it was something to do with that.
This is a pretty aggressive thing.
What do you think, Tree? Because I'm going to push back on that.
Oh, geez. I was kind of hoping I'd just blend in with the background and nobody would ask me anything this whole time.
I'm in a tree. You should wear green more.
I have a thin chance, but that's a fat chance there.
I don't know. I think like a lot of the things that the Aes Sedai do to me, I'm like, that's ridiculous. That's way too hard. But I'm sure that they have a reason for everything. But this is probably one of the first times that I'm like, that's ridiculous. Why did anybody be put through that just for becoming accepted? Like, not even Aes Sedai. So,
like in the next chapter, Egwene says that Nynaeve has a look like she's seen too much. Right? Like she's basically describing what someone who has PTSD looks like, and I mean, like,
right.
But it's kind of like tossed aside. Like she has this kind of like she just kind of very subtly mentions that Nynaeve is just kind of off, but like no, she's not off. She just went through horrifying events, and yeah, no, it begs the question, like, how necessary is this when we have the example of the Age of Legends and we see what is possible, right? I don't see how the White Tower's machinations will even allow for the Age of Legends to happen at all. It seems almost more akin to like modern day American governance, right? Like federal government is like kind of designed to like not really allow for progress. So for me, I think the example of the Age of Legends is really important because this age that Rand is kind of dealing with is nowhere near that, right? Like, and I think like that there's a reason for that. And so
right.
I never thought of the Black Tower influencing the Tar Valon to make it such, right? I think that's really interesting. I would like to go more and explain that to me more, because I've just been looking at this going like, wow, man, they seem to be just making like all the wrong decisions. And we get into the whole idea of culling the herd in the next chapter. We'll get into that in the next hour, but that's like one of the bigger flaws I'm seeing like the White Tower is allowing to happen, where it's like it's so regressive in so many ways, right?
All right, well, there are several things in there.
Because I'm not good at this, sorry.
One of the
You're getting better, Ryan.
I'm just front loading everything right now.
Yeah, I'll start near the end of what you said, and you compared it to the Age of Legends, but what you're looking at is the end of an age. You're looking at a point in time where they didn't have men who had gone crazy. They didn't have a world that had broken. They didn't have Trollocs running around. They didn't have any of these. They didn't have Black Aja running around. They didn't have, and so it's like apples and oranges. I don't think you can compare them as far as the structure goes. I think I think a lot of what they did to, because they had to be tough, right? They didn't have to be tough. They had to be responsible with the power in the Age of Legends, but they didn't have to be tough to be able to go out into the world on their own, with or without a warder, and have, and they were probably so many more of them that they didn't. Do you kind of get what I'm saying there as far as that point goes?
I guess the taint is the kind of, I think the point that is the biggest distinction between ages, right? Like, so the male channelers are tainted, and I forgot about that. Like, so the Age of Legends, they were not tainted, right? So they were just like channeling at will. Everyone's just like channeling, like boom, 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 boom. No one is suffering consequences necessarily like the men in this age are channeling, right? Like, so I think that's like, I hadn't put that into my.
But also, society was completely destroyed almost. I mean,
yeah. So, but I kind of think like every age has this. Like, I kind of think like my headcanon is that every age kind of goes through this kind of like upheaval and breakdown, and then like it starts over. And like, so what I'm seeing is like Rand, and like the age that Rand ends up, we can all say like the end of like the books is the end of that age, right? We're assuming like that's the end of that age, correct? So like, so we never got even close to the point that they were at in the Age of Legends. Like, we weren't even close.
But I doubt that the end of the first age is anything like the end of the second age, right? So,
correct.
Yeah, I don't think that ages are necessarily ever going to be equal as far as where they reach. And I don't think when at the end of an age, they all go back down to the same level either. So there are just different factors there. Go ahead.
Do you think that it's possible that they're having some complex that they don't know as much as they did in the past? The Aes Sedai, they're not knowledgeable. They don't have what the Age of Legends had, and in knowledge, and they don't want the rest of the world to know that. So they have to make I don't know. I keep on saying exclusive, but they need to stay like omniscient.
Well, no, I hear what you're saying. I don't think that they need to. I think that they are choosing to. And so
that's what I mean. They're
yeah.
having that complex that they need to hide the fact that they don't know as much as they.
No,
right.
That is great, MK, and that's very consistent with like kind of Robert Jordan's kind of like view of how he's kind of putting cultures together. Cultures themselves have like underlying flaws or like a historical like wounds that they need to heal or reckon with, and we see that time and time again in this series. So so maybe the White Tower has this like kind of like glaring flaw that they're aware of, and maybe all their kind of exclusivity is designed to protect that secret. That's very interesting. I like that.
Well, we're also seeing a tower that's kind of flailing. They have all these Terangrial that they don't know what the fuck it does. They have this thing, and they're like, okay, let's throw our accepted into them so they can face their fears. Tree, do you think that in the Age of Legends that Aes Sedai had to go through this 3-ringed arch in order to become an accepted or something? Or...
So I have no idea.
Yeah, I dig it.
So I
probably not.
Interrupt.
I don't know.
Not to interrupt, but I go Tree, go.
No. Go ahead, Rob. I'm done.
No. Go.
No. I'm good. Thanks for saving me from having to not
I
answer.
genuinely had this conversation with someone the other day, and I went looking through Taverlon.net. Not Mad
you're the
Hatch.
best.
And so I literally read through the formation of the tower like 4 days ago. So Aes Sedai, as we know them, did not exist in the Age of Legends. They were just channelers, were just a thing. They were called servants of all. But the Aes Sedai actually, like the tower and everything like that, didn't start until 47 AB. That's when they decided to let's build a center of power. That's where the tower came from. That didn't start until 98 AB, where the White Tower was the phrase White Tower was in use for 30 years prior. And between 50 AB and 100 AB is when they sort of ruthlessly cut down all those, fake Aes Sedai and stuff, and was like, either you get stilled or we'll come make you Aes Sedai ourselves, and so on and so forth. And it wasn't until the end of the second,
or against us.
Yeah, and it wasn't until the end of the 2nd century after the breaking that we had the 7 Arges and the Hall of the Tower and all that sort of thing. So using those archways to make, to raise women to accepted or going on to then Aes Sedai with whatever it is, I can't remember the other one they used. That didn't happen until that age. Like in the Age of Legends, people just, you were channelers, you got, everyone worked, it was like Star Trek, everyone just worked for the greater good type thing. So yeah, it wasn't a thing in the Age of Legends, and all of their creation of the tower and their testing and their reasons for doing things and their levels of restrictions were put in because there were women alive who remembered the breaking, and people alive who remembered probably, had grandparents who died in the breaking sort of thing, or parents that died in the breaking. And there were male channelers that needed to be, sorted out and stuff. So
dealt with,
right, and yeah, I guess so. There must have been a shift to where you have to become hardened in order to be an Aes Sedai, which wasn't necessarily the case. I think if there was probably just a lot of nerds who could channel and wanted to, do chemistry shit or whatever.
I kind of imagine like a world where everyone who can channel is somehow able to find a place of importance. Like my next question to everyone is, let's say Nynaeve does archway number 1, horrible, crazy. Archway number 2, oh god, 2 rivers, everyone needs me, oh god, no, she can't do archway number 3. They said, well, you could just fucking bug off, right? You could leave, right? What happens? What becomes of her?
If they fuck off?
Yeah, no, they just give her enough money for a year, and then that's it.
No, I know, but so there is, how many women have done that? So there are women who can channel that they say, hey, you can't handle this, go off and be a channeling woman, but you know, right? Like they're still able to channel.
Right, that's the kin, more or less, right?
That's the kin, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if they
are all kin like the women who tried it and they said fuck this shit.
No, or got asked to leave or left on their own. You know, and to that point, we have 40 novices. Only 7 or 8 are going to become accepted. Yes, I don't think that these girls are dying in the Terangrial. They're just being forced out because they're having to deal with some hard to deal with women, more or less, who are and people who are beating them because they're not scrubbing pots at high or whatever. I think
you're saying you think that some of them are just leaving because they can't hack it. Like we know that Else Grinwell is like booted out because she's not studying. She's not.
Yeah.
She's not a studious. She's not a studious student. She's like she's not a studious student. She's hanging out in the water yard,
watching the boys. Watching the sweaty chests.
Them forging furies.
So, you get some like that, right? But
do you think chit is a bad word? When she said chit, I mean, is it like a horrible word?
It's definitely not complimentary.
That she's a lazy chit.
Does that mean?
I don't know. It has a. I don't know. It seems to have some weight behind it.
It's not nice.
Yeah. So the Aes Sedai have high standards, but like, are these high standards backfiring on them? My question is like,
well, that's something that I wanted to talk about because, and this is where, maybe this particular rule is something that the Black Aja would like. Like, I don't disagree with the accepted test, but like you said, maybe their retention rate could have been better if they didn't say, well, you know, if you go in and you don't make it all the way through, then you're out. You can never come back. Maybe if they said, okay, well then, if you don't make it through, you know, all 3, but then you get like X number of years more before you have to before you can try again, kind of thing. And that way they would get more training and then maybe have more. But making that line so hard and having it be like you can turn it down on the 3rd time. If you turn it down, you can turn it down twice once it's offered to you, but on the 3rd time you turn it down, you're out. So maybe I think that the accepted test isn't necessarily a bad thing. I just think that they're that those rules that they have definitely benefit the Shadow by having fewer Aes Sedai.
Okay, so remind me about the kin. Like, I feel like the idea that there were the kin was one of the things that my memory says that Egwene was able to kind of like say, hey, what the F are we doing with all these kin? Like, we need to bring them into the fold. We need to reutilize them. So, like, wasn't that a great error of the White Tower that they would like say, oh, for any reason at all, a woman says, I can't do this, and they say, well, fuck off, we're done with you? Like, they should have like, so like, I felt like everyone exposed this as like a great error, saying like, no, we should have never let these women leave. We should have done everything we can to make sure that we wrap our, you know, like studies around them, not make them force them into our study. So it seems like, so the idea that there's even kin at all, I think is like error. Like
I mean, they could. Error. Why couldn't they just have like a lesser rank that's no longer a student? Like you're no longer a student, unaccepted or whatever. But you're still some other rank of Aes Sedai.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. Out you go.
You're less Sedai.
Less Sedai.
MK, could you move your microphone
Rob, stop that face. I'm sorry, Zuul. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Rob, that face is really offensive.
No, Less Sedai was a good one, right? I like that.
That was not even a joke.
All right, go on, Zuul. Thank you.
No, you
me?
Yeah.
No. Whoever.
Ryan?
You?
MK.
Well, I was just going to, yeah, me. Oh boy, that's big. I'm big.
No one likes that, right?
Well, hey.
I know.
It just all goes along with what I was saying before. They want to be as exclusive as possible because it makes them feel more important and it makes them look that way. So if they just let everybody in and be like, okay, you could do it in a few years, we'll give you all the tries we need. They don't want as many people in there because they want to make it look like it's hard to get.
I don't see that as a motivation. That they just want to be exclusive.
Well,
So,
I mean, but
of
if they have like a secret, if the underlying motivation is like to make sure that people don't really know their underlying flaw, I could be like a unconscious motivation, which I like that theory, like because like
Right.
Robert Jordan has this like understanding of like cultural unconsciousness and like cultural consciousness and like we don't need to get into all of that, but like the whole cultures have like wounds that they needed to heal, and Rand was able to like, you know.
And
Well, let me. Oh, go ahead.
Rand either ripped the Band-Aid off or showed everyone that there was a Band-Aid already, but like maybe the White Tower has like wounds that they need healed or secrets that they unconsciously are trying to avoid, even in themselves. They don't want to feel vulnerable. Or what? Anyways,
Right.
I like that theory.
And to those points, that the fact that they are completely ignorant to a lot of the tools that they have at hand, this is a vulnerability that they do try to hide. They don't advertise this at all, but they also don't try to rectify it. They pretty much say, "Yeah, we tried it once and someone got hurt, and so we don't do it anymore."
Yep. To this point, Village Mattress, so they felt that if they failed the test, they would fail in a stressful situation. But like there's a lot of duties and responsibilities in warfare. Like if you have like a whole like army of women who are trained at channeling but not very good, they could just be kind of like in the backgrounds healing, making goods.
Well, so all right, so
like giving like air hand jobs to soldiers when they need it.
Yeah. If nothing else, they're there for joining in a circle for extra power.
Let me piggyback off Village. So Village says so let's take the actual 3 parts of the test. If Nynaeve does not channel in the first part of her test, what is her goal? To run away? To run away fast and find the arch and go through the maze? It seems like I don't see the point of what her first test would be then if it's to see how she reacts in a stressful situation. She is more or less just being told to just run and not channel, and it's dangerous to channel, and don't defend yourself or whatever. I don't see what the point of her first thing would be otherwise to just run and try to find an arch and be really stressed out.
I think her first testing was the most confusing one in my eyes because the other 2 were based in reality more so, like Emmons Field, Malkier. I mean, it's real life situations. Where did a maze come in?
Yeah,
like,
well,
that's
I mean,
completely
right.
abstract.
Right,
and
it made me think of like Shadow Logoth, but in like the daytime with no fog.
Like it represents something, right? Like just her not knowing where to go and which way to turn, and then obviously Agenor shows up. But
do you believe that the first doorway, which is I guess supposed to represent the past, right? I don't know if this is capital.
What was,
Like,
what
so,
was, what is, and what will be.
So where was
what does this mean for Nynaeve's psychology? That's like, what about this scenario is relevant to Nynaeve at all?
Maybe there was something that happened when she was like before the book started. Maybe because she was a young wisdom, like she was getting taken advantage of by men. Maybe.
I find Agenor to be
Is that why she
Agonor's
was walking with the switch all the time?
Agonor is an interesting avatar to put into this nightmare. When you read The Eye of the World, although Agonor was at the Eye, it was Balthamel?
Yes.
Who actually gripped her by her throat and lifted her off the ground.
Which I wish, yeah. So Village is saying it was based on her experience at the Eye, which she felt helpless, and she was...
Right.
But it wasn't Agonor. It was Balthamel who actually put his hands on her.
Yeah, and who was like licking his lips, like, I forgot the pleasures of flesh, or whatever.
I said, okay, so I
think it's about
said
control.
that maybe something happened because that is kind of an ongoing theme with Nynaeve, because she
she's
also
so
has
angry.
she has an incident a few more books after with Egwene, like maybe Egwene knew something and she knew her fear from when she was back in Emmons Field.
Oh shit! What are you talking about? I'm sorry.
Wait, what?
Like, I okay.
I'm all excited. Yes.
That
What is?
maybe something happened to her before the book started, and that is her mentality, and she's afraid of getting raped or getting manhandled.
But what does this have to do with Egwene?
Because maybe Egwene knew, and during that until around Riyadh a few books later, and she knows her worst fear, so she makes some I forgot what it like she makes men up to, or monsters, I don't know what they were, but to like I said, to manhandle her.
Yeah, these might be abstract manifestations of certain trauma that occurred. But it is weird that there's a maze, and it is weird that it's Agonor that is that. But there is no doubt what Agonor wants to do. He is telling her what he wants to do, and it's filthy and it's disturbing, and she doesn't even want to hear half of it.
Yeah. No, so she's naked and she's running away, and she's in a maze. Mazes are typically reference to like mines, like the like it's not uncommon for a maze to be a reference to like going into the mind, right? Like so she's in the maze of her unconscious, and she meets Agonor, who was in the whole event at the Eye of the World. He was there. I mean, like, so it's not,
and he was scary.
And he was scary as fuck.
He was scary.
I mean, he manhandled Moiraine in a different way.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Is he the scarier of the two?
Just think about, like, let's just all sit and think about how man is in all these words. Like,
and that's what I want to say is I think that this has to do with whether or not she was ever, under threat at any point in her life, other than Balthamel, of having her body, misused by a man. I mean, that's possible in the past. But what about her life has been dictated by men and having power over her and controlling her, whether it's her body? I mean, she's looks younger even than she is for the position in Emmons Field that she had. And, she had the village, various men on the village council, men of power in that particular society,
including Tam Althor,
who were putting her down and maybe not
and
supportive.
She hit him with a stick.
And they would say, that she's too young. And then, you get strangers coming in, like Tom saying she's a pretty little slip of a girl or whatever, and so I think this is about her regaining control and letting go of the past where she maybe didn't have as much control, because this is about the past, and grabbing that control for herself, and whether that means running away or turning and facing it. I want to know if anybody here thinks that the Aes Sedai have any control whatsoever over what happens in the different parts of the
Whoa, I
TAVERN.
never thought of that.
Well, there is
I think
suggestion.
they don't. I think it's very clear that you don't have to tell anybody, and that nobody knows.
Isn't it suggested when Egwin goes through that they made it extra hard?
I feel like that was for the Aes Sedai test for Nynaeve later on.
Oh, okay,
and it was like
yeah,
excessively hard.
What did it
and they said, thanks, Elida, it's her fault, or someone, or Leandrian, or some red. They're like, she, and they all gave her daggers because she made it hard. She threw something in.
Yes.
That's the impression I had gotten. These three things. Here's how I see the breakdown. The first fear is fear of personal self, physical personal self. Okay. The second fear is fear of community and your emotional self, your ties.
Or
the third fear,
responsibility, like.
Right.
Your role.
But I mean, not even maybe responsibility, because I would see that some, they're in the White Tower. So I think a lot of people probably see their family at that point in a distressing situation, is what I'm thinking. And the third part is joy that you have to consciously leave. So there is no fear in the third one. The third one is resolve, that you have to walk away from what you most love.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes from physical fear is just the first stage. Collective emotional, this is my history, this is what, if I can help them, is the second. The third is the fairy tale that you have to leave. And I wonder if that's the same for everyone, or I would assume that what would be is probably you have to walk away from joy. Yeah, everyone has to walk away from their. Tree, what do you think? What do you think about this?
Well, I think it doesn't necessarily have to be. I guess it could be joy, but I think just something that they've always wanted. Like for a lot of women, it might be hard to give up like ever having a family, right? Which is I think what Nynaeve is struggling with at this point. So like just any kind of sacrifice they have to make, like whether it was like whatever they plan for their career or their life or their family. Anything like that, I think, to be Aes Sedai, so that you can get a feeling of what it's really like in the future when you have to make those tough decisions.
Like the fear, part of all of this has to do with sealing them to the tower. So that last one and the middle one for Nynaeve are big on sealing her to the tower. But particularly that last one, like she has to give up, being wisdom, but she's also in the future giving up, in her eyes, what she thinks she's giving up is a future with land in Malkier and having land's babies and all of that. And so this is one way that I think for the time since the breaking that this test was really used for, because they needed people to be fighting on their side and to be really dedicated to the tower. And they really needed that. And so I think that this part of the test is good for that reason. And this is why I would advocate in keeping this TAVERN in raising them to accepted. I don't know. I don't know about the final one, the final test, if I agree with that one necessarily. But this one, whether they use this test to make you accepted, or they use this same test to make you finally Aes Sedai, I think this is good for that reason.
Yeah, that's true. It makes you like face dead on like the feelings and like the actual situation that you're leaving.
Is like, purring too loud?
And like last one would probably be like seeing herself give up her right to the throne,
Right. Yep. Right. And it does add to that fraternal or sorority type feeling where everyone has gone through the same experience. We all have come out and said, fuck every Aes Sedai. Sheriam has always said, yep, that's typical. Everyone has had to do this.
Which is like one of the worst, most inhumane things to say to someone. They go through like the worst trauma and they are saying this, and she just says,
that's what they all say.
That's what they all say. It was so dehumanizing, that comment.
Yeah.
Sheriam is a test study. Like we could have many hours talking about that woman.
So let me ask, and let me ask you,
MK. I didn't
Oh.
take it that way at all when she said that. To me, it's kind of like, yep. We all understand that because we've all been through it. Not like, yeah, that's.
You're not special.
No,
I
and
think
she's
it's like, hey, we all get it.
And in fact, she personified that by saying, I couldn't go the first time. If you back out now, there's no shame. It's hard.
All right, so
so she was part of that sorority saying, I know what you mean. We all pay a price.
All right, so Kev here says the shared trauma and overcoming it creates a bond between the accepted. And I agree with that, but like we do have Black Aja. These Black Aja went through these Ter'angreals, and they still ended up becoming black. So I don't see really how effective this is. It ultimately, like everything we're saying, like, oh, it's good for this, it's good for that, it's good for that, but there's still Black Aja, right? Like it's not
no
that
system is
effective.
foolproof.
It doesn't create like a perfect bond.
Yeah. Plus, how long is it between were they Black Aja during accepted, or like how many years was it after accepted? Like, how long do those memories and lessons stick with you? Before they just kind of set their sights on something else bright and shiny that they might get from turning to the dark side.
I think it's like any other walk of life. You have people who like Pater, become dark friends young, and then you have some who are like much older. Say like, full spoilers here, Varen is older when she becomes Black Aja, and so I think you have people in all walks of life doing that. So some are spotted by the Black Aja, especially if you have one as a mistress of novices, who can then like kind of find the ones who might be amenable to that, and then kind of groom them for that as they go along. But there are some, I'm sure, who are dark friends before they even.
I was just thinking
accepted.
that, though. I was just thinking that, but then when they swear the 3 oaths, so they use the 3 oaths as a truth rod later to try to identify Black Aja. So wouldn't that mean if they were dark friends before, they had sworn their dark friend oaths, and then they swear their 3 oaths, then do they have to reaffirm their dark friend oaths? Yes. Because it seems like the 3 oaths kind of like trump all former oaths, correct?
I think they go back and take the dark oath.
And then they go, okay, I need to do this again.
Yeah, because all Aes Sedai, right? All Aes Sedai are then have to use the oath rod with the to strip them of all oaths, and they have to re-swear. So it's not, when you swear those 3 oaths, that's never going to weed out any dark friends, right? They didn't ask, the original 3 oaths don't ask you anything like, are you a dark friend?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, true.
What are the 3 oaths again? Just refresh my memory. I know one is you can't tell a lie.
You can't tell a lie. You can't make weapons of the 1 power, and you can't use the 1 power to hurt anyone unless you or your warder's life is in danger.
Or another entity.
Right.
Or someone else. Yeah. So let me ask you, MK. Here's the big question I have.
Big question.
So let us pretend that Nynaeve was not able to bring. Let's pretend that Nynaeve was not able to bring back that arch when she was with Lan. The arch had come and had gone, and she channeled it back. Would she have lived out? What? Let's describe the physics of this. first of all, someone enters an arch, and what happens? Do they disappear for a minute and then pop back out on the other side?
Maybe.
Are they there the entire like? Yeah, I mean,
like maybe.
Yeah. So talk to me. Talk to me about the physics of the arts. What are you thinking?
Another version of that world, like I said, Portal Stone kind of thing, where maybe it takes you to another existence, I guess. And I think that she would have remained. I think that it was real.
So
is it a?
You mean like a portal stone?
Yeah, it kind of acts like that and takes her to another reality. And I honestly, I never thought of it until you asked, but that's where my brain is going.
So is it like a mirror? Like you step into a magic mirror and then just pop out? It's just a thin thing, or
it's kind of like when Rand he goes through the glass columns and he mentally becomes whoever he's in the head of, and that is Nynaeve going through it, but still as Nynaeve. Like she goes into her mind as that version of Nynaeve. Her mind goes. It's like a
But do you guys see it as thin as this divider between Rob and I, and they just kind of go in and disappear, and then so what do the Aes Sedai do? So Nynaeve goes in, and they're just like, so did you see the Warders training yesterday? They were pretty good. Yeah. There's a couple.
Well, I mean, you
have
the three who are sitting there, like at the junction of the arches, who are channeling, right? So obviously they're just going to sit there and channeling. But if there's anyone else in the room, the other people, anybody else in the room, they might sit there and talk while they watch to see, okay.
Get that pitcher ready to dump on their head. Here, give me the pitchers. Give me the
Get
pitcher.
the water. Get the water.
Give me the pitcher. Okay.
I don't think it's like Portal Stone at all. I think it's like Teleron Riyadh, and that they go in like it's like going in physically to like a dream shard, where part of your subconscious like makes this dream shard reality come true for you. But then there's something from the outside that puts in the prompt and shows you the archway to go back out. And so I think that they go in and into the center part, because there's kind of like a ring on the floor, and then there's like arches around the edges, so they go into the center part.
So how big do you picture this ring?
I picture it
10 feet.
I don't know, 20, at least 20 feet diameter, maybe larger. Probably larger, yeah. Definitely.
Because she runs into the third one. So there has to be enough room between the arches for her to break into a run, at least.
Interesting. I pictured it like smaller archways that all connect, and like you could stand in the middle of them all if you don't go through like a portal world when you walk through them. And then you can run at them from the outside, I think.
You run it from the outside, but once you go into like Teleron Riyadh, there's lots of room inside. So you can run anywhere from the inside out.
That's funny.
From the outside,
how do they know which one's first?
Yeah, good. Our first-time reader Todd calls this the Aes Sedai game show with the three doors. And door number one, doorway number two.
So do we see it as like?
I picture them lined up, just kind of like one, just like again, like literally like.
Well, it says they're connected at the base, though.
Oh yeah, they're connected on a.
So is it like a Mercedes-Benz symbol, but instead of points, they're arches?
Yeah.
callback.
No, like the tops. I don't think the tops of the arch. I don't think only the bottoms of the arches touch. Only
Yeah, see, I picture a triangle.
It's always
Yeah, that's
bigger
what
on
I
these.
mean.
Right. So it would go from the circle to the middle, but it's like you picture that Mercedes-Benz 1, 2, 3, and just picture those as arches instead in a circle, and you run through 1, run through 2. I don't know. It's hard to picture.
Like if you're looking from the top, and you put like the points of a triangle on here, like those are the bases of the arches. The arches don't connect in the middle, right? So you have a circle here.
Oh,
they go
I thought they did.
They form like a triangle if you're looking from the top. So you see the circle, and then you see the arch going across from this point to that point, the next one from that point to that point, the next one from that point to that point, right? So you see from the top a circle and a triangle.
Oh, interesting.
So there is a big triangle space in the middle where
they're facing.
Unless you're above, you're not going to see in. But I imagine that you wouldn't be able to see in. There would be nothing to see because you're like I think you're going into like Teleron Riyadh.
Yeah, so real quickly, let's give Kev some credit. He has a dissertation on...
I was waiting to bring this in,
on what is happening here. He says he thinks the testing must exist in a controlled dream shard. So it would still exist if the person in it is maintaining it, but not if the Tagrail that is maintaining the DS?
Dream shard.
Oh, I was about to say, like the Nintendo DS? All right, and then he says, which fits with Nynaeve being able to reopen the doorway, such as Rand opening the gateway to Tavern in their flesh. All right, that's a little too nerdy for me.
Well, no, does anyone have a comment on that?
For me, it's okay, Kev. I love
all right, no. Here's
explain that to us, Rand.
I'm gonna get nerdy.
Rob, explain that to us.
Okay, so a dream shard is like a piece of Teleron Riyadh that is separate. Okay, and what Kev is saying there is those gateways lead into a dream shard, or 3 dream shards, however, depends how well the Teleron is set up, I suppose. And when you step into that, if the maintenance of it, if you are the one, like it comes from your suggestion, doesn't it? It's not the Aes Sedai creating a world like the Aes Sedai test. It is literally they, insert power. They're the power pack. They're the ones you plug it into. You step into it, and you're enveloped into a world. So, if that's being maintained and created by you, then you stay alive after they turn off the power type thing. And it would fit because the same way that Rand could leave Teleron Riyadh by creating a gateway and step out into the real world, she did the same thing by recreating a gateway and stepping back out into the real world.
Okay. So my question to you is this then. Okay, if you don't take any food in with you, how long can you actually stay alive in there? Because there's nothing in there that's actually that comes from there that's actually going to keep a physical body alive. So if your physical body is in there, then
they're
like
just
it would
eating
be
fantasy food. They're like going to McDonald's every day getting McMuffins, but it's a
you would starve. Yeah.
Well, we can also take this. We can take this one step further and say, as soon as the 3 Aes Sedai stop channeling to control it, you're unplugging the TV. And whatever sitcom you jumped into no longer exists.
That's one way to look at it. That's not what Kev was saying, I don't think.
No.
So I think Kev's talking about like the illusion that being maintained. So if it's the Terangriel running it, then then it won't last. But if you're the one running it, I suppose.
So are the people running it? They know what's in it then?
No, because it's just created out of your mind.
Right, they're just powering it to like power it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
The doorway in and out.
Yeah, they create the doorway. When you step in, the Dream Shard takes images in this setup. The Dream Shard will take images from your mind, experiences from your mind, to create what was and what is and what will be.
Now, is this... Wait, but why are some... So, is this not a Terran... so... These doorways, are they mislabeling them?
No.
What I was gonna say.
What do you mean by mislabeling?
Well, they're saying they're Tangrao, but they just don't know really what they are. Are all Tangrao doorways into dream shards?
Well,
No.
the definition of a ter'angreal is something that uses the one power for a purpose.
Yeah, specific
So
reason.
This one thing is one ter'angreal.
All right, so a Ter'angreal can also be a portal.
Well,
If
yeah,
that's
if you
its purpose,
yeah. So Ter'angreal, you created an object that uses the power to do something.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
That isn't a makes you more powerful object. Those are a separate. That's Angreal and Sa'angreal. They make you a stronger channeler. Ter'angreal use the power in a different way for a different purpose, such as a library of books, or to create a rod of balefire, or to all sorts of
help you get into the dream world.
All right. So
Yeah.
if our age ended, right, and this is my last point before we take a break. If our age ended, right, and in a hellfire of whatever, like horrible shit, rubble everywhere, and the next age starts, and people are rummaging around for food, and they find a red rod of right, like if they find a red dildo, are
They need to channel it.
Are they gonna be like? Is it gonna be like the gods miss you crazy? Or are they gonna like look at this thing and be like, oh my god, it's a Terran? Like, are they gonna like deify this fucking this boner-inducing?
DFI?
Yeah, right. They're gonna deify. Anyways,
Where are you going with this? I lost to the.
where am I going? What I'm saying is like.
So I think it's going to happen.
Focus, motherfucker.
If they don't know.
They don't know. What I'm saying is they don't know what's going on. They literally just don't know the mechanics.
They don't know how to channel, right? Is this where you're going with this? They don't know how to channel?
No, yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like, so these doorways, these Ter'angreal came from where, right? They came from an earlier time, right?
Correct.
Did they just find these, like, walking around, like, oh, look at this shit? Brought over
They came from the Age of Legends.
All right, yeah. So that's what I'm getting at. It came from an old age, right? So they find these things. They don't really know. Someone had to be like, all right, well, you walk through it. I don't want to walk through it. No, you walk through it.
I'll do it.
Fuck. All right,
I'll do it.
Well, Dan will do it.
I'll do it.
Dan will do anything.
Well, they
And
talk
everyone
about
goes, Dan.
Yeah, and then I don't come back because I'm off living my dream life with Lamb.
Right.
I'm skipping through butterflies, goddammit.
But this phenomenon of finding things from an old age and the new age and like mislabeling it is what I'm kind of getting at. Like,
Oh, yeah, that happens. For
yeah,
sure.
that's what I'm getting at. These people don't know what's happening. They're like, walk through it. I don't know.
It's like the
Some people
oath
come
rod.
back. It works. Yeah,
It's like the oath rod. It's a binding rod. They used them on criminals. We learned this from the Forsaken. They used them on criminals. Like if you were a channeler or some other criminal, rather than putting you in jail or stilling you necessarily, if you might like have to swear that you would never do something again.
Right, but these 3 rings aren't a binding rod. These
Right,
are
but I'm
just
saying
experience, right?
Right, but they still don't know what the original intention
Right.
of this was.
Right.
Maybe it could be set to be like something you go in and you have a vacation.
Yeah, you go hang out. Yeah, you have the best day of your life, and then you come through the rot. Yeah, it doesn't come once; it comes back next week. You get 7 days.
Yeah, it like makes the illusion in your mind of 7 days. So this is like
Chicago,
Total
yeah.
Recall. This is Total Recall. You get to go have a vacation.
Yeah.
Something.
So I have a quick question then. Do you think that Nynaeve brought the arch back herself, or do you think she had someone helping her on the outside? Do you think Swan helped her?
Ooh.
I
Oh,
didn't
she
know-
was in the room.
I don't think that they are aware what's
I
going
don't
on.
think they're aware at all, eh? Okay.
You
I
don't
think they
they're
just
watching, like, on an
disappear, and then
iPad
they
in
just-
the corner.
No, they're just picking their nails. They're like, yeah.
What do you think, MK?
I don't think that. Well, that's a big question. Are they influencing it or are they not? They'd have to be watching it to influence it, correct?
Yeah, MK, what do you think?
I think that whoever said that it was coming from the individual's mental state or mind, that they're
Do you
creating it, but
do you think that the Aes Sedai are aware of what's going on?
No.
Okay.
Is it kind of like is it kind of like if you do mushrooms and you're in a bad mood, you're just gonna have a bad trip? But if you're in a great space and you do mushrooms, it's gonna be a bad, like
maybe.
Well, either way,
just
it's going to be your
enhances
worst
whatever-
fears, apparently.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I've been there.
DMT.
Well, our patrons will know about that shortly.
What
Whoa.
holodeck?
Yes. All right, hey guys, I'm ready for a break. We've been announcing it for a while. Let's do a 10-minute break. We're going to do some music and take a little breather.
We'll come back with our 5 quick questions. We'll go to chapter 24 and we'll get to our
time to float.
Thanks, Internet. Thank you, Internet.
Woo. Yes.
Oh. Okay. See you later, Ryan. Apparently, he was going to do the music.
He was
Maybe he got to pee really bad, so he just had to jet.
So everyone, if you can just hit mute, that's probably the easiest way to have the music going.
All right, here it comes.
Executive order. And it's pulsing like a mantra, like a how dare you. Raymond, sexuality, your taste, your possessions, your past. What's it mean? What's it mean to me? Dirty is. Dirty is. I'm so clean.
All right. We are back. And I will remove this banner once Brother Dan is in a... Brother Dan! Pull it together!
The queen is dead!
The queen!
I love it, man.
Yeah, I was jamming. Who was that again?
That's my old band, Depth Charge Revolt.
Yours
Ooh.
and Todd's.
Yeah, Todd, our first time reader, is one of the drummers. That band had 2 drummers in it.
And who does our music, Hermit Convention, was known as Craig back then, and he played guitar.
Yeah, then he transed over.
It's been a whole family event with Ryan. He attracts talented people around him, like the sun attracts asteroids.
Is that you singing, Ryan?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
No, not in that. No. Thank you, though. Thank you. All right, so it is time for Way of the Flow. Brother Danny, you ready for it?
Guys, I don't like to brag. I don't mean to gloat. But put your hands together. It's the way of the float.
Oh, and here he comes. I'm getting his. Oh, no. Wrong music. My bad. Here he comes. And. Yeah.
Ooh,
here he comes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's reading. Oh,
time.
shh. They lived happily ever after. There he is.
Don't they all?
Oh, that's pretty loud, right?
I
it's
know.
There you
See
go.
how fast he was flipping through those pages too?
Man,
Speed reader.
tearing through. Hello, my friend.
Hi.
How's your week been?
Good.
What?
Yeah. Any highlights?
Shit hasn't hit the fan yet.
That is a great
Well,
highlight. Yes.
That is a good
I would say
highlight, yeah.
I would say those loaded fries that you had were a definite highlight.
Oh yeah, they were great. They were
Nice.
amazing, actually.
He had brisket on his
Oh.
fries.
My gosh, I saw that. That looked delicious.
It
So
was
amazing.
it was the white queso stuff with pico, brisket, bacon, brisket, barbecue sauce, all of that.
Go
All the
big.
good stuff.
Go big.
It
or
was
go home.
great.
No
Holy
joke.
cow. That sounds
I love that we all
savory.
know what we all eat on a regular basis.
Right.
Join the Discord,
I only-
Penny.
I only know this because I post everything. That's other than that, I would forget.
Well, guys, so our Time to Float is a first-time reader. He is reading along with us. He's a couple chapters ahead of where we are at now, but he's on to give us his thoughts on these 2 chapters, chapter 23 and 24, correct?
24.
So, Floaty, we get Nynaeve's test.
Yeah.
Talk to me, buddy.
Break it down.
Okay, so I was like, the maze? I believe it's the same maze from book 1 that Rand was in.
Oh.
Okay, go on.
And then when Nynaeve was with Alganor, it was kind of, it made me think of when Rand was in the maze from book 1.
Go on.
Okay.
And then I was like, maybe they're connected somehow. I don't know.
Huh. Okay. Huh.
And then,
Man, that's
but
a
then-
good actually, no, hold on. That's a great connection, Floaty.
okay,
Love it.
All right,
and
go on.
then when she says Aganor, I was like, what the fuck? I thought he was dead
Oh.
at the end of book 1. I was like, what the
Right?
fuck? Why is he here?
What's going on, right? What do you
Right,
think's going on?
exactly.
So is he dead or not dead?
I was like, okay, wait, what? I'm so confused. It's
Alright,
like
let's-
everything has become alive.
All right, let's have an episode of our newest segment, Dead or Not Dead.
That would be amazing.
All right, Floaty, Aganor,
Dead or
not
alive.
He seemed very much dead at the end of book 1, but how would I know?
So you don't know if he's dead or alive now?
You gotta pick a side, bro. Pick a side. Dead or not dead?
I'm gonna go dead.
All right, he's dead. Agenor's dead, ladies and gentlemen. So what is going on? Is this why are we seeing Agenor if he's dead? Where are they, Floaty?
Maybe Belzema just brought him out of Shay'ul Ghul for some odd reason. I don't know. As a ghost, I don't know.
Okay. Oh, okay. Like, hey, give him a little job. Hey, go freak Nynaeve out a little bit.
Oh, basically, that's exactly what I thought when you speak of that.
Do you think Nynaeve could have killed Agenor if she got him with a good blast?
Probably not.
Well, he's already dead, Ryan.
Right, that's what. Oh, could he re-kill him?
Can he double kill?
I doubt it.
Okay, so was she fighting a hologram?
Maybe.
All right.
Oh, I just thought of something. Okay, so you remember when she was frustrated, she was able to channel, right?
Yeah.
I'm starting to think Shariam might have also had something to do with it, perhaps.
Shariam, okay.
Okay, how so?
Okay, so I'm thinking she put the hologram into the maze just so she would freak out and then learn how to channel on her own, I guess.
Oh.
Do you remember Shariam saying that, being surprised that Nynaeve could actually channel and talk about
yes.
how you were not supposed to channel in there?
Right.
Or
was
maybe
she faking it?
Probably, when I think about it.
Well, okay. Now that she knows that you're not supposed to be able to channel, and she did channel, should she have let her go back in there?
Yeah.
No,
right? Like, so many bad things can happen. Like, this never happened in the history of her running this ceremony that someone come back and channeled, and
she just do it again.
She's like, go to door number 2.
So speaking of door number 2, do you think this is what's currently going on in the Two Rivers right now? Do you think Branalvir is dead? Do you think there is an evil Lady Wisdom there beating everyone up and making the children sick?
No.
Okay. It's just a fabrication.
And then what I found insane was that seeing Sin Bowie as the mayor, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, there you go. There you go. You know what? I thought the same thing. I'm all white, and the thatch was all messed up. I'm like, how can you be mayor if you're not even fixing thatch, buddy?
Boy, he's so busy.
Exactly.
Well, I saw his ad, so I mean,
yeah, like on his door it says,
It's not right.
on his doorway it says less thatch, more mayor.
Yeah, the buck stops elsewhere, buddy.
The thatch stops elsewhere.
Yeah, the thatch off.
All right, so Floaty, keep going.
Thatch yourself.
Yeah.
You want me to go on to the third one?
Yeah.
Okay, so at first I was like, what the fuck? And then I was finally figured out what was going on after the fact.
Okay.
Because I was like, okay, she's married to Len. What the fuck? Why did they have kids? What happened? And I was like, wait, it's showing what she gave up to be the Aes Sedai at the White Tower.
Yeah.
That's hard to believe.
That's what that is.
What do you think would have happened if she just stayed there, Floaty?
Oh, my assumption was that he would have killed her or made her go insane. I don't know.
Who, Lan?
Why do you think he would do that? It was his wife. The mother of his children. Why would he do that to her?
It's all a dream, so anything can happen.
Oh, I guess. Okay, I get. You know what? That's a good caveat. anything can happen in a dream.
It will happen.
Hey, Floaty, Delusions of Grendel says, hey, so Floaty, do you believe that what Nynaeve saw in her testing was real? Or is it possible Agonar was a manifestation of her imagination/fears?
I honestly, when she says it that way, I now think that it was a hologram, I guess, that like one of them was like behind.
One of who was behind?
What? Whoever was administering the test.
Oh, an Aes Sedai?
Yes.
So there was lightning being directed from the sky straight to her heart, and she redirects it like Avatar or something, or Iron Man, just transfers, grabs that lightning and pushes it back.
Which is what I do.
If you don't channel, you die right there, right? I mean, that's just you just die. Did Nynaeve have a choice but to channel?
No.
And yet, she's put in a situation where they're not supposed to know how to channel.
Yep.
So what's going on?
My guess is, once again, it was an Aes Sedai behind the scenes, I guess, that wasn't like directly working with Shiriam, but someone that she knew.
So why don't you like Shiriam?
I like her now.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else you wanted to say about this chapter?
Yes.
Okay.
But then when the Amerlin's eyes started glowing dark, that I was like, what the fuck? But then I realized maybe she's giving Nynaeve like a wink to be like, yeah, you're one of us now. You're my slave. Or something.
Well, she says you are sealed to us now.
Basically. And then the fact that Nynaeve wants Moraine to pay for everything she's done to them, that was kind of dark.
Yeah, that's what tore her away. She
has reasons. She has justification for why she wants that.
I hear you.
Okay.
Right, let's go on to the next chapter, Floaty.
Oh, I have something in particular I want to discuss for this chapter.
You're killing it, man.
So I was wanting to discuss the auras I was wanting to discuss the man's auras from book 1 and current.
Oh, okay.
That I was like, okay, to see like how different they were after they're reintroduced, you know?
Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, what did you find out?
That with Elaine, she saw the rose crown of Andor, and that she'd have to share her husband with 2 other women, as well as a severed head. A hand. Yeah. and then the fact that she could be a queen.
So
and
this is all before she knew that she was the daughter heir.
Yes. So I was like, maybe she'll become a queen. Her husband will get around with other women and be a slut, perhaps.
What? Okay.
And not be loyal to Elaine.
Oh no!
Oh, he's a philanderer.
Yes, and then the severed hand I thought was foreshadowing a tragic loss or horrible wound from a battle, perhaps.
For whom?
For who?
Elaine.
Ooh.
Oh. She said it was a severed hand, but not hers.
Oh, Brother Dan, good point.
Yeah, not hers.
Time to float. Whose hand is it?
Okay. When I think about it now, Rand.
Okay, you think Rand?
Hold on, Rand loses the hand? Is that what you're saying?
That's Rand. What I'm thinking. Yeah.
Which hand?
Which one?
It rhymes.
Right.
His right hand.
What am I gonna do with only one hand?
All right, so time to float says.
He's a swordsman.
It's hard to play drummer in my band with only one hand.
And then with Egwene, the white flame, I'm starting to think it means that it will make it makes me think that Egwene will be much stronger than Nynaeve will be.
Okay.
And then
the white flame of Tarvalon, which represents the power.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, because that's what we have for our chapter icon.
Okay. Yes. And then for when I was looking at Eye of the World, I was like, okay, the dagger is referring to the one from Shadow Logoth. But then the ruby dagger.
Okay, from Eye of the World, or her original visions. Yes. Who did she see that over?
Matt.
Okay.
And then the horn, I was like, oh my fucking god. That was foreshadowing for book 2.
Yeah, good.
Because we're having the hunt for the horn.
Yes, exactly.
The grave is no bar to my call, MK.
And then I'm not there yet. Oh my goodness.
Well done, Ryan.
Was that DT?
And then
What?
Is that DT in there? She said DT found the horn of Valyr right there.
It's DT.
Man,
oh
DT
my
gets
god.
around, huh?
Wait, is that DT?
See, it looks like him.
This is the Horn of Valyr, right, guys?
And then I had a few things to the other characters.
Hey,
For Karen.
I'm just really happy that this woman has reflective colors on her shirt.
Oh my goodness.
Because people are moose hunting out there.
Yeah, it's so crowded there, you never know.
Never know.
That's definitely not a moose antler.
All right, go on, Floaty.
Oh. Okay, so for
we love Floaty.
Karen, she talks about a wolf, and then I realized, they're foreshadowing that to be where he can talk to the damn wolves.
Oh, okay.
What?
Yeah. All right.
And then the broken crown made me think that he may become a king at some point and then do something to be exiled from the throne.
Ooh. Okay. King of where?
Oh, I have not thought that far.
Give me a place.
Let's go with Andor.
All right, King of Andor.
But that's Elaine's kingdom. That's Elaine's queendom.
Yeah.
Well, she.
And we've already seen the rose crown of Andor for Elaine.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, go on.
He told me to pick his place, and I did.
Yeah. No. We're not fighting. Right. Well done. Good job.
I was just wondering if they were going to have like a king and queen situation going on there.
Oh, a little,
perhaps.
Like a little. He said.
What is Solutions trying to say?
It says, "Remember what was, what is, and what will be."
The doorway.
I don't get it.
So what?
Everyone, guys, there are no. There are no Kimps in Andor. All right.
Kings.
Kimps.
Well, no. Then he said,
okay.
There are no young.
There's no Carl Young.
No Kimps and no Jungs.
Then I have no idea. Okay. He told me to pick a place, and I did.
All right.
We love you, Floaty.
Sorry, Delusions.
All right. Anything else on the visions of men?
Yes. And then with Rand, the one thing that stuck out to me was the funeral for Rand.
Oh, yeah.
That made me think that the funeral thingy made me think that it's showing Rand and he may possibly die in the next few bugs or whatever to become the dragon, perhaps at expense of being killed.
Okay.
For the greater good of the kingdom, I guess.
Very interesting idea.
Describe the funeral for us.
And then, but I was not done. I'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
So when it says that 3 women were there, I'm thinking that would be Nynaeve, Moraine, and Egwene at his grave.
Okay, very good, very good.
Nice. I like that.
And I have one more.
Bring it.
So with Tom, it talks about with him. I was like, based off of what she said about him, it starts about fire, and I was like, I made the connection to the assumption that it makes me think Tom at some point might take orders from Bowsermon, perhaps, to pay off some debt by harming his friends at the Dark One's bidding. And wouldn't make any sense for someone like Tom. Men might be trying to say, parentheses, this seems so far-fetched though, in parentheses.
Okay, whoa. So you're really, okay. Do you think men's viewings are true?
As of now, most of them came true from book 1 to book 2, so I would believe they would be at this point.
Okay. I mean, on some level, like, men did, so far the viewings that we know came true are ones that the people who had already heard the viewing, right? Like, we knew.
Right, like exactly.
Matt already heard about the dagger about men's viewings, and then he picked up the dagger, right?
Exactly.
Is there any possibility that men's viewings are just like little like prompts to do something, right? Like,
maybe, because then that would make sense, because then she was like, oh, he wouldn't have even known what that dagger was if it wasn't for men.
Right.
All right, Floaty, do you think is Min a good guy or a bad guy?
I'm thinking she's good as of right now.
Okay.
And
how about
then
Elaine? Is Elaine a good guy or a bad guy?
I'm thinking he's good.
No, Elaine.
Oh, Elaine? Yes.
Okay.
Beautiful.
But right, Elida, not so much.
You think she's a bad guy?
I hate her.
She's kind of a bitch.
She's a red Asha, so I am very convinced she's working with Bowsermon.
Do you think all of the red ones are?
No, just as of right now, her, because she seems like a bitch, like MK said.
So do you think that all people who are just not nice people are dark friends?
Maybe. I'm starting to what?
Can you just be a not nice person and not swear to the Dark One?
Well, I see what you're saying, yes, but then there's like there should be like a justification that they can't if they can't justify their actions or why they're doing something, then that's how I see it anyway.
Oh, all right.
All right.
Beautiful. All right, hey, Floaty, this has been a great segment, my friend. You have we got one more second. Any last points you want to say about these 2 chapters, my friend?
And then I was going to say something, but I lost my train of thought. Shit.
That's all right.
Well, let's tell everyone to go. Where can we find your blog, Floaty?
Floatieswhatthoughts.blogger.com.
Yes. All right.
All right.
So, yeah.
And we have it in the description, I believe. Right, Ryan?
Awesome.
If we don't, we will.
If we don't, we will.
Floaty,
as always, thank you for joining us. Your insights are wonderful. I really like your point of view. I think it gives as someone in the chat wrote something like New Eyes See Far or something.
I thought you said we were doing 25 as well.
Yeah, we didn't get that far with Todd though, so
Dang it!
The way of the leaf is adapting to its environments.
I was so ready to talk about that chapter so much.
Next week.
Yes.
You got it, my man. Thank you, Floaty.
Any last questions from any of y'all?
Actually, Ryan, let's keep Floaty in. Let's do our 5 quick questions, and let's include Floaty in the questioning as well.
Floaty, are you ready for this?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
All right. Well, all right. Tavern patrons, everyone, commence talking.
Commence. Go ahead and talk now.
Commence talking. All right. They're so compliant. All right, guys, let's get into it.
So, Tree, we have discussed with you before these 5 questions. I may toss you a little thing here or there, but I'm going to interview these guys right now if you don't mind. You're already our best friend.
I have no problem being in the background.
Okay, Zuul, you've been on, but you've never participated, so we want to get to know you as well. So we will start with MK, and we'll go kind of each question. We'll start with someone new. MK, are you ready?
I'm
my
ready
dear.
to go.
Okay. Have you ever seen a proper palace?
Only on TV.
Okay. MK, have you ever seen a proper palace?
She just said no.
Did you not?
Only on TV.
Zuul, I'm sorry, Zuul.
Oh, yes, Buckingham Palace.
Oh, well, there you go. That's proper.
That's very proper.
Floaty, have you ever seen a proper palace?
If you'd count Game of Thrones on TV.
Nope. Okay. I do not. So I'm going to say no, but there's
no I have not. I have not.
Okay.
The keyword
Zuul.
is proper.
Zuul, have you ever eaten anything you would consider to be a honey cake?
No, I have not. And
Okay.
I still have not made, I still haven't made Rob's
Look at Rob's
recipe.
He's disappointed. Look at him.
Floaty, have you ever eaten anything that you would consider to be a honey cake?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay. MK?
I've had honey buns before, but none of
Honey buns. From like a package or like homemade?
What was his name?
a package.
I've had those too when you speak of that.
Was that Pierre?
That's all I got. What?
Pierre de Honey Buns.
Pierre, of the honey buns.
I am Pierre de Honey.
Is that when you went on sabbatical in Europe?
Yep.
So I'm calling that 3 strikes.
The Count of Honey Cake. All right, Floaty. Are you ready, my man?
Throw me what you got.
Have you ever seen a real-life, authentic thatched roof?
No, I have not, unfortunately.
Okay. Okay. Have you ever seen a thatched roof in real life?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you live under a thatched roof?
Yeah.
No. when I was in elementary school, we would visit like
the thatchery.
Well, we used to visit like old villages that they recreate the past, like history, and we used to go on field trips to those, and there were quite a lot of thatched roofs, and we made
Do you think they had a senbui?
stuff, and it was they definitely everyone needs a senbui.
That like fix the thatch? Oh, okay, right on. Zuul, have you ever seen a authentic thatched roof?
Yes, much like MK here, when I lived in Massachusetts as a teen. Actually, I've been to Sturbridge Village, but actually I was thinking of at Plymouth Plantation. One time when I was there, they were actually repairing the thatch roofs, and they had stands of reeds that they grew in nearby. They cut and they put up there, so we actually got to see how they were made.
Oh, wow.
Pretty fascinating.
Wow. Were there storks nesting in them?
No.
Oh.
Maybe they had gotten rid of them. I don't know, but
Senbui was the instructor in that.
Hey, the storks don't bring babies, Brother Dan.
Well, no, but they still nest in your roofs, and it's apparently good luck, I guess. I don't know.
They don't?
Oh, my God.
News to me.
Question 4. Okay.
Hey, Brother Dan, that was not the way to leave.
Question.
That was a little aggressive.
Question 4. MK, I'm dropping circus skills. Do you have any party tricks that you can do physically or something that impresses a group of 4 or 5 people? How's that?
Okay, well, when you put it that way, I had drawing eyeballs all set, but I don't think that's entertainment.
You do draw a mean eyeball. Your eyeball drawing is very creepy. It's so good.
Hey, it's entertaining when you live stream.
Yeah, I've watched you draw eyeballs. There's been more than 2 people watching you draw an eyeball. I think that's entertainment.
Yeah.
I also, okay, I could do
what's funny is
gymnastics, like
everyone-
back walkovers and stuff.
Oh, you can. Okay, gymnastics. Oh shit. That's well done, Ryan. Or Rob.
Look at
well
that
done.
talent.
Oh.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, which is amazing. She drew that eyeball with her eyes closed.
Yeah.
And you can still see the reflection of herself in her own eye with her eyes closed. It's weird.
That's a self-portrait.
I was crying though. It was very sad.
We all are. That was pretty
We
good.
all are.
Crying at how beautiful that your drawing is.
You're like, I'm so talented, I can't even believe myself.
Exactly.
Crying about what?
I don't know. Like,
That
Was it a
was
tear, was it a
question,
tear of
Floaty.
happiness because you were drawing?
I was.
I think eyeball drawing is an art and a skill that that qualifies. Well done.
Anyone who really dives into the art of eyeball drawing, you instantly start crying. Once you get into the art of the eye,
Yeah.
It's tear ducts on down. Yeah.
It's a feedback loop.
Emotional. It's emotional.
Yeah. Yeah.
You like well up, just really strong.
You guys are making me cornea with all this eye talk.
Can we?
Good. Thank you, Floaty. All right, Zuul.
I draw more than eyeballs, by the way. I just wanted to put that out there. I'm not just exclusively eyeballs.
No, but that's so goddamn fantastic.
Do you draw vulvas?
Oh.
That
Can
makes
you-
first.
Like the car?
Can you draw mine?
That's not what came to mind when he said that.
Can you draw mine?
All right, Zuul. All right, sorry about that.
Please
Zuul.
draw Brother Dan's vulva.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you said Volvo. Oh, I thought you said Volvo. I got a Volvo hatchback. I'm like, draw my car. It's Swedish.
No.
All right,
moving on.
Yeah, good idea.
I can do a bunny impression.
Okay, show us. Oh, look at that nose. Look at it.
Look at it.
There.
How do you do that?
I didn't even know we had muscles there.
I know. Does she have a neck?
This is my bunny impression.
I know. That's
Yeah. Hi, boys. You want a drink? That's my Playboy bunny impression.
Put a little like
Little
There you go.
cocktail.
cotton ball tail in your ass, and you're
Yeah.
good to go.
Well, that is impressive.
The next time I'm on your show sometime in the future, I'll do a different trick for you.
Oh.
Does it involve ping pong balls?
Oh my gosh!
No.
Oh my gosh!
What? What's so funny
Did you
about
say
that?
needles?
Needles. I said needles.
Needles. Okay.
I'm so confused, but that's supposed to happen, I guess, at this point.
Floaty!
Oh my god, you did nose twerking!
Floaty!
Oh, that's amazing! Nose twerking!
Nose twerking. Yeah.
Art,
I love your art!
Oh, we need to
Oh my
put
God.
that on a video where someone's twerking, but then just put Zuul's nose
Adorable.
superimposed on the butt.
That'd
Right.
be adorable.
Oh my god, so is fan art called fart?
Floaty,
We can go back now.
Floaty, do you have anything that you would consider a circus trick? What can you do? What can you do physically that you're like, all right, let me show you this?
Wait, keep your pants on.
Yeah, keep your pants on.
Damn it!
What are you gonna do?
Okay, so I was gonna keep my pants on,
Alright,
but the camera won't go far enough down, so I'll just okay. So basically, I can like stand in chairs with my feet like slightly like.
Can you demonstrate? Like, what is going on?
I would if the camera wouldn't be stupid and only show my.
No, just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Don't. Yeah.
Go back.
No, you go ahead and do it.
Just go back, and then we'll see it.
Oh, he's talking to somebody.
No, they're saying no, it's all good. Your family's saying that. No.
They're like, don't stand on the chair, Floaty. Don't do it again.
Stop standing on chairs.
Stop standing on chairs. They told you.
I know. Yeah, I think there's been several hospital visits from Floaty standing on chairs.
Can you do it right now? Can you do it? Even if the camera won't cooperate, can you do it? Can you show us? Just stand on that chair, man. Just stand on the chair, brother. Yeah, do it. Yeah.
Is it happening?
Doing right
So
now.
I will post a photo later.
Are you squatting on your toes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Can you back up in the room? Can you back up?
Yes. I will
away from the
see
camera?
what I can do.
Yeah, back up so we can see it. No,
This is
go
vital.
further. Go further.
Further.
Back.
I have the couch behind me now.
Oh, that's as far
Do
as
your
you can go.
best.
Do it on the couch.
So you're like balancing. This is a rolling chair?
Oh,
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, look at that.
Yes.
My poor feet. My poor feet.
Well done. Yes. Good job.
Well done.
Yeah.
Okay, one more question. Guys, all right, one more question.
I have a side note. Mom came upstairs.
No. Oh, your mom
Yeah,
did?
we said.
And then she was like, say a bit. That sounded kind of inappropriate. I was like, Mom, go downstairs.
About the pants.
Did you tell her this
She
was
heard-
a PG-13?
She heard about the pants.
She heard the pants. She heard the pants thing, and I was like,
Oh,
she was like, is this appropriate? And I was like, Mom, go downstairs. You don't need to be here.
We're like, give
and
mom,
no, it
give
is
mom.
not appropriate.
All right, last question. I'm reining this stagecoach.
Come on, bro.
And Tree, I'm gonna ask you first. See if you. Oh yeah, show me your.
Oh wait,
Oh my gosh! Where'd your thumb go? She had her thumb the whole time. Ah! Well done. All right, I'm gonna ask you, starting here. This is the last question we always do. You walk into a bar. Hey, over there is a very drunk and happy and willing to talk Asmodean. Over there is a super equally happy to talk and drunk Lan. And over there is a super equally lugubrious Thor. So you have an hour to sit with any one of these guys. They will answer any one of your questions happily. They may even talk a bit too much because they just want to spill their guts. Tree, who do you sit with for that hour?
I think Tam, because I think Asmodean and Lan will be depressing drunks that will just talk about sad stories, and Tam might talk about like farming and gardening, and I might get like some good tips.
Brother Dan, Floaty doesn't know who Asmodean is.
Oh, that's true. Don't worry about it, Floaty.
Pick a different person for the third.
Yes. I was just about to say that.
Morden.
No,
I
we'll
don't know
say.
who Morden is either.
Nope.
Let's say Agenor.
I don't know who that is.
Loyal.
Agenor.
Definitely not Agatha.
Oh, definitely not Agenor, that's for sure.
But
He's the one from the-
Agenor is like happy and is willing to
He's a
talk.
little
He's not
wrinkly.
being creepy.
I don't know.
He's
Is that
willing
the what?
to. All right.
Is he from the maze?
Thank you, mattress. MK.
Yeah.
Who would you choose to sit with?
So I initially was thinking Tam, but I was like, you know what? He's kind of like a happy-go-lucky guy, right? Anyway,
Is he?
Yes, in my head right now he is.
I don't see him as happy, but
Stop questioning my reasoning.
Yeah.
So
go.
I
go
think
on.
Lan is low-key hysterical. Like he's like sliding in those jokes, and I think once you get him really drunk, he's rolling with him. I think he would be entertaining. So I'm just gonna go against the green. I was gonna say Tam, but no, I want to be definitely Lan.
He probably knows all kind of like water gossip.
Oh yeah, he's gonna. Yeah, I think
he's like, yeah, stay away from Ariel. She'll,
He's got the ends on that, and
it'll burn when you pee.
People talk shit. Like I think he's really good at
which they call the Ariana Grande. Go on.
Oh my gosh.
Floaty, who would you choose to sit with? Let's say a spruced up and not stinky Aganor, Tamalthor, or a Lan Mandragón.
I would go Tam. Tom, whatever his name is.
Tam?
Yeah.
Tamalthor? So who and why?
Because I'm like, he's drunk, right? So he's just gonna be like, talking about how lonely, sad his life is, and how, my son left me, I almost died.
So that's who you want to sit and talk to?
Depressing.
Is that a problem?
No, that's fine.
He wants to be like the shoulder Tam cries
Yeah,
on.
Floaty is a good wingman.
Yeah. If you need to vent.
Before I kill him.
Oh, no, wait, what?
No,
All right.
He's a blade master. Sorry.
Yeah.
I can't drown him in the toilet in the bathroom. I can't do that.
No, he would kick all our butts. All right, that got dark. All right, Zuul, who would you sit with?
Well, I'm gonna say Tam. Although I am tempted to sit with MK and Lan and like people watch and like listen to the funny things it says, I'm tempted. I am dead curious as to why Tam left the Two Rivers as a young man and what happened to the rest of his family.
Wait, what?
What happened to the rest of his family? Why is he living in this? There's normally generations on these farms. Why is it just him and Rand? And like all these questions, like exactly, I want to know his like stories of being in the Illianer army and the fights and like all of his backstory. I want to hear it all.
Yeah, and that's great. That's great. Rand's story pretty much starts and ends at Tam. There is no talk about grandparents or lineage or any of that stuff. No brothers and sisters that we hear of or anything. It starts and ends right there with that man.
We don't hear about cousins or anything.
No.
What's on there?
I'm pretty sure there's some time traveling going on.
Why, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, this is all spoiler talk because there certainly is time to. Oh shit! All right, I should. Floaty, thank you for joining us. We're gonna go on with our spoil talk now, but I'm glad that you are now one of our new best friends. I need to write you a song next time you're on. No sweat.
After that confrontation from my mom, that was bizarre.
No, you know what? Tell your mom she's welcome to join us anytime.
Yeah, get your mom on here.
The more she understands, the more she will appreciate it.
Yeah.
Right now, what is mysterious is scary. I understand. What you
wouldn't she have to start with book 1?
Yeah, you have one.
Obviously. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just give her the recap. She'll be fine.
Yeah, she doesn't even have to read the book. She can just watch our show all the way
just
through.
Make her watch episode 1.
We're
it's
pretty
faster
thorough.
to read the book.
We're pretty. Yeah, it's much faster. But we're pretty thorough. We're incredibly thorough.
Oh wow, Zuul! Wow.
And then
Wow.
No, I mean as far as her trying to get in to watch the show, she would get in to watch the show faster if she read the book, and then she could join us sooner.
You saying that 6-hour live streams don't hold up to get into the book?
Like and subscribe, guys. We're doing
one last thing.
All right, one last thing.
What?
This is not related, but I thought y'all should know. Y'all remember my Lady Gaga crave with the Oreos and everything?
Yes.
They are not in the stores anymore. I'm so depressed.
No.
I
So
hope you stocked up.
My Gaga snacks now are limited edition.
I only have 3 cookies left.
You gotta ration them like a World War I soldier.
That's what I've been doing. And then I found on Amazon you can get like a 12 count for like $50.
Oh my gosh. I'm sitting on a gold mine, guys. I have my Gaga cookies I'm never opening.
It's like Bitcoins.
My Gaga snackies.
All right, Floaty.
All right,
thanks
Floaty,
so much.
you're the best. Everyone
Float
check him out. Look for his blog and catch him on our
Bye,
Discord
guys.
on channel. Bye, Float.
Bye, guys.
job,
Bye.
Bye. All right. All right. All right, guys. Well, this is what we do. This isn't a big surprise. We take a while to get back into the chapters.
I'm in the middle.
All right, so chapter 24 is pretty much where Ryan, what do you call it? The BFF Forever Club?
The BFF, BFF Forever Society,
Something like that. Elaine, Egwene, and Min instantly become, within minutes, they're hugging and they're wanting to be their best friends. Egwene and Elaine are seeing glows around each other. This is just a whole new world for Egwene.
Yeah.
Don't you dare close your eyes.
Do we need a what parody break?
Yeah, that's Ryan, I don't know where I was going with that question.
I'm
actually,
sorry,
help me out
it's
here.
I lost you.
All of a sudden, they're best friends.
Yeah.
So wait, right, like, so is this the worst chapter you've ever read, or the second to worst?
Why do you think it's so bad?
I
You mean
have a lot of
chapter full
problems
stop?
with it.
Because I've read other really shitty books.
All right, you're right. Well, I mean, like, Rob, you might get canceled if you go into that.
No.
Let's just go into stick with Robert Jordan's writing.
This is a gross chapter in certain ways. The
This is like, let's just move the plot along with no real well, anyways, his writing of relationships, I think, is his weakest point. People like each other, and then they're like either lovers or friends forever, and that's just it. There's no build up. There's no anything really. The best written relationship, I think, is Moraine and Tom, which is no relationship. You just right, like, that's the best relationship. Is like they don't even interact relationally, and I'm like, wow, look at that. Like
they act to me as if there's a TAVERN right next to them.
Mm.
There's just spilling. Egwene is not one to be like, I want to be your friend. Yeah, me too. Hey, I think we're going to be best friends. Everyone doing this stuff, it seems like it's almost like you could excuse it if Rand was standing there and he was like pulling their pattern. But these are just three women who
Just met.
Sometimes it happens like that, though. Like,
So, go ahead.
and also it's like a roommate situation, because like Elaine and Egwene were roommates, right?
Right.
Or am I misremembering that?
No, yeah,
Okay,
she was assigned to Elaine, yeah.
They were next door to each other. Like, they had the little peephole that they talked through, remember?
Oh, you're right. Yeah, and they cried through.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that crying people.
Yeah, why are you crying? Yeah.
Well, okay, let's talking about
So
the
much
TAVERN
crying.
thing. I've had a theory for a while that people who get strongly affected by the TAVERN sometimes get like pulled back in, and then get also pulled back in with other people who were affected by the TAVERN.
Mm-hmm.
So we have like Bail Doman, we have Elaine, we have people who keep coming back into the story. So you have all of these women have been strongly affected by the TAVERN. And you have other people who are also here who've been affected by the TAVERN. Like you have like Gawain and Galad, and Gawain talks about like other people who were affected. Like Almond Bunt is one of them. So, and he's pulled back in like 10 books later, 12 books later, I don't know, something. So, who knows?
I thought that was a really cool part of this chapter too. Was just seeing that Gawain's the man in this chapter. He's a stud. I like Gawain up until now. He's one of my favorite characters that we read. He's the best. He loves Rand. When in the garden, he was like, "Hey, buddy, don't worry about it. That's my brother. He's kind of a jerk." Oh yeah, that's Elida. She's he's like whispering and kind of giving him the lowdown. And then here he's like, "Yeah, this guy is everywhere. People know him even if they don't know him, and is stating these really noble things." He's like, "Why? Because one man dared him to face the world, Rand al'Thor."
Wait, I thought maybe Gawain was kind of like trying his hand at the game of houses right there. The way he framed the question, like, was he born in the Two Rivers?
Yeah, was he born in the Two Rivers?
Like, what a fucking weird question. Like that made me think he was like playing like some chess, like 3-dimensional chess. Like he was trying to get her to admit something, right? That's what I felt was happening.
I think it's just so weird that he looks at Aiel.
Yeah.
I think that's not overemphasized enough. But when he's an Aielman walking around just normal, talking like an Irishman or whatever, or the Two River talk.
So when you talk about TAVERN, so he's even like so you can almost you're kind of implicating that like they're the three BFFs Forever Society formed as a TAVERN like influence, right? Like under the influence of TAVERN, that's why that's kind of scene kind of wrapped it up so quickly because they were just going to happen anyways, right? Is that what you're saying? Like,
yeah, I mean, and the fact, I think there is some part of that in this, that those three should come together in the White Tower.
Well, they all have.
Go ahead, MK.
They all have Rand in common.
Yes, exactly.
And that is why they bond. But can I just say what I was gonna say?
Yeah, please.
Jump in,
please.
I don't believe the relationship. I think the relationship was poorly written, and I don't get it. And I don't think it's. You could say TAVERN, but that's the plot armor. That's the like. Oh, just lean on that for everything. But they don't. I don't know. They didn't have any build up, like you said, and there are friendships that should have happened with that didn't really as close, like when Nynaeve and Elaine, they go tanning in Tanchico, they spend a lot of time together, and you would think that they would connect because that would have been more of a natural friendship. And I don't think that the other girls.
But there is a. Do you think the age difference made any difference between Elaine and Nynaeve, as opposed to? Because
I think that Nynaeve was a little immature.
Okay.
So they were more on the same level. But go on. Sorry. I just... I think she's immature.
Yeah, I kind of think TAVERN ends up being a little plot armor. I like how you said that. Because you can kind of advance the plot along and just be kind of like, always have that safety net to say, well, it's TAVERN. That's why they made irrational decisions or they acted out of character. I kind of question this whole TAVERN thing in terms of like the limitness, like how limited it might be. Like, let's take for example Loyal. He left the steading 3 years or so prior to even meeting Rand, right? So that was a 3-year long story arc to get him to the point where he met Rand, and we want to say that TAVERN made that happen. What does that mean?
I think the pattern made that happen. I don't think that that's TAVERN pulling on the pattern necessarily that far away. Did anybody else think that it?
In that sense, I actually think that it is. I believe that Rand was TAVERN from the second he was born because he was always meant to, and I think that like the TAVERN-ness, that's why the 3 boys were all born or were all raised in the same village. I think that was, and I think that the whole time the TAVERN-ness was making stuff happen. But yeah, the pattern too, because it's him.
To me, loyal. To me, loyal is so vital that if it wasn't loyal, it would have been someone. It doesn't. I don't think that it necessarily had to be loyal. I think that his backstory.
What?
Yeah,
that's very controversial, brother Dan.
He's a very loyal person.
Defend yourself, Dan.
I think that's the way of TAVERN. So it would have occurred that if he needed an Ogier, and Loyal was there. I don't know if necessarily their paths crossed because he needed to be there per se. He was just traveling, just like Almond Bunt was just traveling, just like Elsa Grandma was just sitting in her farm. I think that what? Duh.
Well, I mean,
did you just dummy?
No, I did not. No, I did not. No, not even close. The wheel weaves as the wheel wills, and the pattern, human lives is where the pattern threads, right? Right. Threads into the uses, right? So that's what we know, right? That's the stated canon, is that the pattern threads human lives into the ages to influence events. But I think that's limited. I think I still believe that there's really no free will, and everyone is on a predestined path, course to the end, and that's what this whole I think we're in a completely predestined world, and Rand, we'll get into that later, but that's my whole belief, and I don't believe that
I think these people are tools to the TAVERN so that the pattern can weave itself around them. So when Rand goes to the Portal Stone world, he is with the 2 people that can help him, more or less.
Right.
Is Loyal and Huron. If he had neither of those, he would have been utterly lost and would not have succeeded. I think the pattern made that so, and whether it was Loyal, son of Heron, son of Mamacita, or whatever, and Huron, he still would have been given the tools to succeed based on what the pattern had available.
Okay. And I'm trying to pick up on what you're saying, Ryan, about TAVERN being limited. I will say I know that Robert Jordan has said that people are not TAVERN from birth to death. That's it can come for a time and go. Now I'm not saying he didn't. Yeah. I don't know if he said that specifically about Rand, or if it's just TAVERN in general. I know that he has said that it's the 3 boys, not necessarily TAVERN from the beginning. It's something that can come and then go. It's not necessarily a constant in a person's life.
So do you believe this world was normal, everyone's making free will choices, but then once Rand was born, kind of a TAVERN set of rules started happening? Because I don't really understand how we can explain Loyal leaving the study 3 years earlier just to meet Rand and Carrion.
I think what Dan was saying, that it's...
Dan's never right.
I've been right twice.
I am siding with Dan on this, Ryan. I'm sorry.
I've been right twice. What did Dan say? I'm sorry.
I said Ryan was wrong, so I was right. No, as far as just loyal being in the right place at the right time.
Right, and about the TAVERN pull around. We've seen this area effect around Rand, right? You can say Moiraine is like following him. Oh, yep, he's definitely been here. You can see these TAVERN effects, like weird things happening, like the odds of, you know,
the marriages,
going up, or like, you know,
everyone suddenly gets horny when a super hot guy comes into town. It's not,
whatever.
With the weird tattoos, yeah, baby.
Right. So the closer you are to that TAVERN physically, the more likely you are to be pulled into that pattern. And so I don't think it has to do with like 3 years before when Rand was, you know, like a 16-year-old in the field with the sheep, being a shepherd, or like picking apples, that he was pulling on Loyal, who was at like steadying Shanghai. I don't think that's happening.
Right.
I think that
it's a coincidence.
But maybe in this particular world, I tend to think that that some people are more tightly tied in. Everybody has choices within their pattern where they're being woven, and some people who, if they're not as important to the pattern, have more choice. But they're the stronger threads and have more important things to do that affect more people. Maybe have fewer choices, and so you never know. Maybe there is some predestination, but I don't think it's quite. I don't quite agree with you, Ryan, that it's like no choice.
Rob, what do you think about how far does this TAVERN poll actually extend? Ryan thinks that it may have gone 3 years in the future or in the past with Loyal. What are your thoughts?
I actually think it's almost prenatal with Tam finding.
See, I agree with you, Ryan. I agree with you that it's nobody has choices.
Go on, Tree.
Yeah, no. All right, hold on,
Rob.
Rob.
Go first, and then I'll
go, Tree. Go.
Yeah. Give you.
No, don't do this to me.
Go, Tree.
Jeez. Oh,
yeah,
God.
no one likes that. No one likes that.
No, I agree with Ryan. Like, I feel like I kind of agree with Zuul as well. Like, if you live in a small town and you're always supposed to live in that small town, you could like be a thatcher or a cook or whatever, as long as you're in that small town. But like when it comes to people needing to help Rand, like I think the pattern knows exactly who they're gonna need, and then they start weaving. Like it could be like 5-10 years in the past. Like they know, and they lead those people to get there. And like I imagine, like I don't know if anyone's ever made like a friendship bracelet before, where you have let's say you have like 8 strands, and then you like weave them to make a pattern. So I think like one string is like Loyals, and then they're like weaving it over to get to Rand. And I think there's like a whole plan for that not a lot of people have a lot of free will.
That's you know what? That's all right. I'm convinced. I'm on your side.
It's the only thing that like makes sense to me. I get that like some people might be able to have a little bit of free will, but they're essentially like where they need to be. They're in like standby mode.
Yep.
You know?
I get what you're saying. So, but that's the pattern. That's not.
Yes.
That's not TAVERN. There is a difference.
TAVERN is a person altering, the chance of things in a set period of space. You know, the more powerful TAVERN you are, the more space you have.
It's its own whole entire thing.
Yeah, it's its own thread playing with the pattern.
But that's a human understanding of what is happening, right?
But, I mean, even Tree just described it. She said the pattern is placing these people to help Rand. The pattern. Rand is changing these people's lives to help himself.
That's the pattern using Rand, I think, though.
I think TAVERN is bullshit.
So, do you think... Okay. So what?
All right.
Hot take: TAVERN is not non-existent.
Well,
Well,
So-
we see it. We see it happen. We see people
Yeah.
say things that they would never say without
They
the
glow.
Taryn in the room.
That could be the pattern.
They glow in swan season.
That could be the pattern making them do it.
They glow.
Anyway.
Only when Rand is in the room.
They glow.
Well, no, I mean, like, no, fuck. I mean, like, again, like, Loyal left the steading under, like, weird pretext. I don't even think he understands why he left. He just kind of left.
He wanted to see the world.
He wanted to see the world. He started reading about it in books.
But
that is is that really such a bizarre concept that a young person would
do that
want
all the
to see world?
time.
Hey, the same was said for Tam.
Hey,
Tam Thor, quote unquote, just wanted to see the world. He wanted adventure. He left Two Rivers well before Rand was ever born and led an incredibly interesting life to give him all the qualifications to raise Rand perfectly. And he happened to find Rand right at the perfect time when he was like vulnerable and was gonna die any minute. And like, so what the fuck is Tam's whole life was designed to find Rand. Is that how TAVERN works? Or is
That's what I feel too.
Right? Or is this just like, I think
That's
TAVERN
the
is just like a
pattern. Like, the whole
rationalization.
To me, that's the pattern. That's not. I don't see that as TAVERN. I mean, I see that as the pattern. Just like when you have
It's all connected, though.
Shael, you know how Tigraine had to go to the waste and be become Shael and then come back.
All of it.
I think
all of
that's
it.
like her. I think there are certain like beats in her life that she needed to hit. She had certain other choices. Now if she had chosen not to go, we never would have had Rand.
Do you think if she wasn't under the TAVERN proles, she would have not thought it was wise to battle 9 months pregnant?
Well, she didn't go to battle 9 months pregnant. She got
She should have
pregnant
listened
whilst
to her
out.
doctor.
See, I like to think that
it doesn't say that she was fighting. We never got that she was fighting. She just didn't go back home, even though there was fighting.
But she just happened to quote unquote die, which I don't believe she did. We never saw the body. I still will fight me.
The body is there. The body is there.
The dead body is literally described in the paragraph.
Yeah, it's literally there. Yeah.
Dead in the snow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fight me. You lost.
We read this live. There's no dead body.
There is.
No.
There's a woman
Someone
dead
get
in
the
the snow.
passage and
Cloak
read
was
it.
under her
Fight me.
body, and
No.
then the cloak blew off. But like the cloak didn't blow away; it just blew
We
off of the infant. You know.
Nope.
See, I think that was TAVERN stuff. That
How would they know it was a cloak?
the
that
baby
blew
was
off?
covered until someone came by and blew that cloak? I can see that as being kind of TAVERN little magic. But I think so let me ask you, what if Uno, the Shinarian soldier, was fighting and went to the mountains and found a baby instead? I think the pattern
like this
still
bloody fucking baby.
I think yeah, he would have been a goat face.
Stupid baby.
Yeah. No, but I think it still would have happened. I think it still would have he would have mentored him and tried to produce the best dragon he could be without knowing he was doing it.
All right, Rob, give us
I don't think that
yeah.
Rob or that.
So literally, Tam was talking again. He realized, sometimes only murmuring, blah 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 blah. Battles are always hot, even in the snow. Sweat heat, blood heat. Only death is cool. Slope of the mountain. Only place didn't stink of death. Had to get away from it. Sight of it. Heard a baby cry. Their women fight alongside the men sometimes, but why they had let her come, I don't. Gave birth there alone before she died of her wounds. Died.
So they had to see her wounds. There's nothing about
Covered the
bloody
child
footprints
with
or
her
anything.
cloak, but the wind blown the cloak away.
Yeah. And also, if you just give birth, you're not like, I don't think you're getting up and walking away very far.
All right, so in World War One,
to reiterate it, he then says the baby should have been dead too. So she's described as dead twice in one paragraph.
I still don't see like a physical body. I don't see it like,
come
there she
on.
is.
Her wound,
dead body
of her
wounds.
He sees her dead of her wound.
Maybe it's just like she has to have been dead to have left a child so wantonly.
So she left because she was dead. The dead body got up and walked away.
No, he assumed she was dead because
We can look in the companion.
He just read the. No.
All right, we're good.
No, I know.
We're good. Yeah. So, all right, Tigrane's dead. I'm wrong. She's not.
Yeah.
She's not. Yeah, we're good.
He
Companion's
just
coming
wants
out.
her to be Nakomi. That's his. That's his
Yeah, I know it
So,
seems a little
but-
bit like hazy,
so-
but I'm pretty sure.
Oh, go ahead. So the underlying thing is that Tam Althor left a battle, which in modern warfare, per se, in our military conflicts, is a crime that is punishable by death.
He basically went AWOL, found a baby.
He did go AWOL.
Okay, but here's the thing: if you have these like ongoing battles, and there could have been, it could have been after a skirmish, and he just needed to get away from like the killing field and go up the mountain to get some like fresh air, and maybe that that particular skirmish he was in was over. I don't think he's so honorable. I do not think he's ever going to walk away.
You're right, Zuul. You're right. But do you think it's a coincidence? Like, what I'm getting at is like, Tam.
No, I think at that moment that it was at the moment that I don't know, we just got lucky that it was Tam that found it, and maybe that little bit of luck that it was Tam that found the baby was the pattern. I don't think it was TAVERN.
Yeah, for me, like, this is where it gets real tricky or dodgy in a way. Like TAVERN pattern. Like, if you follow the entire thread of Tam Althor's life, he is almost like scientifically designed to raise this boy to be who he is, to be able to do what he did at the end, which is do like the ultimate.
Yeah, the flame in the void.
Like he knew the flame in the void. Like, we don't even know how Tam learned that.
But Uno could have taught him that.
Who?
Uno. Anybody who's trained with.
Sorry.
Or even Dose, that guy with two eyes.
Can I just say that every time I hear Uno, I don't think of the books. I think of trees.
The card game?
No, I think of Uno. Right there. That's where my mind goes.
That's really funny. The rare glimpse.
You're welcome. And also, I'm sorry, all at the same time.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm sorry.
Anyway.
All right. Well, I mean, like, we'll never get to the bottom of this, but like, no one can really explain to me how like Tam ended up finding Rand. Like,
he was always meant to. Is all that I can say.
That would be the story I would like to hear, is Tam's backstory. Although I would sit with the Dark Friend every time. I would sit with the Forsaken, as even someone boring as Asmodean or so. I would sit with him and just talk to him about what the whole. So how'd you become a dark person? And what's that all like? And what's the dark one like? Is he like Harvey Weinstein?
You can ask questions and then afterwards ask Zuul, because she sat with Tam and Tree sat with Tam, so they know. So
See,
get his backstory from that.
But that would be in my head canon. I think so. Rand was betrothed early. He had always just kind of grown up being like, yeah, I think we're probably gonna get married. This is just how it is. I wonder who Tam's lady was, and he bolted on her and came back with a Wetlander wife. And this whole thing, that must have been so scandalous. The whole thing must have been just crazy soap opera stuff. I think that would be a pretty fun story to read.
I agree, but also it might not be fun because he's not making any conscious choices. He's just going along, the patterns throwing him from one thing to the other.
I want to meet Carrie. I want to meet Carrie out there. Yeah.
How did she die?
That's a great name, Carrie.
How did Carrie die?
Huh?
Like, what happened with that? What was her significance to...
Nynaeve poisoned her. I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, like, I think she had scurvy.
My guess is she just had some kind of like disease or like breakbone fever or something that they didn't really know how to cure.
Yeah.
Maybe trying to birth Rand's brother, she died in childbirth.
Well, I think she knew that by the time Rand came around, it was already known that she couldn't have any more children. Like,
Yeah.
Or good point. Or
where did they meet?
Right.
That story.
I think there's
like romance in here.
So
Also, did Tam 100% grow up in the Two Rivers? Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Until
I never thought about that until we started talking about like relatives. And then I'm like,
there are none. He has no family relations in town.
Interesting.
The Calthans have like 10 kids.
Aaron's got a huge family.
So there's also a lot of connections through blood throughout, like Rand is cousin to Moraine, doesn't ever get talked about. Half brother to Galad, and like they're all like connected in that way too. Not all of them, but like there's so many connections through relations like that, and it's uncanny. And I think
do you like that? Do you like that aspect of the story, or do you just find it convoluting? Tree.
Sorry.
Do you like the aspect? Do you like the aspect that that Rand is actually the half brother of Galad, is a distant cousin to Moraine, has like these weird family links? Does that help the story at all to you guys?
I think it's cool.
It's not something I ever really thought about until later when I talked about it with other people. Didn't think it really mattered to the story all that much.
It's
kind of a cool little fact, though.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think
there's a huge genetic component to channeling, right? Which is, we'll get into that. And we've talked about this, and we will talk about it further because I still don't understand why we're not.
Well, they bring it up in this chapter with the culling.
I know, but I don't know. I don't understand why there's not like an Aes Sedai breeding like program. Like, Jesus Christ, just like
stud out Logain, baby.
Yeah, like why steal him? Like just like air. Like we should be like pumping jizz out of Logain.
Ew.
Like with the air.
Yeah, thanks. Right.
But
that's a good question. Okay. That's a good question. Does stilling him disturb his genetic ability to pass this gene on?
No, because
is that what you mean, Ryan?
Yes.
It's a physical. It's like a cut. It doesn't affect your genetic makeup. Even if you cut off your hand, your genetic makeup for your children is still going to have the ability to grow hands.
Yeah, no, good point. So why are they not just like, again, like just
that's a great point.
Using air magic to just pump jizz out of him and like breed a bunch of babies?
Stallion, just farm it out. Yeah.
He's a confirmed fucking channeler.
Do we ever see a pregnant Aes Sedai?
Nope.
Besides Elaine?
Have you ever seen a baby pigeon?
No, that's a good point.
Yeah, good point. All right. Well, do we have anything more prescient to say about this stupid chapter? This is really like
interesting.
I fucking hate this chapter more than anything. I thought this was like, God damn it! Like, how dare you phone this shit in? And just right, like women are way more complicated than that. You don't make best friends like that way.
Know the story of the
and saying you wouldn't understand, Gawain.
Okay, I think it is a little that is a little simplistic, but if you have like girls going away, and it's not just girls going away to like college and know they're going home for in a month or at Christmas or whatever, like they're going away and they're going to be away from home for a really, really long time if they ever get to go back, right? So that creates a bond a little faster. Was a little too fast.
I agree.
And it does when you're starting and you're excited and it's the first day and you're like, I mean, when I went off to school, the group of people that I was with, we got to know each other really quick because we are all bonding.
Right, within the first week, more or less,
The same adventure because we're all going.
I was able to bond with my friends because we were all dripping heroin into each other.
Oh my gosh!
See?
So my wife studied abroad, and people when you're doing an adventure like this, you do tend to bond. The exclusion of Gawain and all that, like. The male-female dynamic was a little weird. Although I think to her credit, Min was the last one to jump in. Min is the one that can see visions and actually tell futures to a certain degree and know the heart and soul of a person more than we can within a minute or two. True. And she jumps down off the bridge and gives big hugs too. And she's like, not even he's going to get between us. Which is a little weird, but still, to her credit, she is able to see the bigger side of what they are, and she still was like, "Yep, I'm in. I'm a three amigo."
Yeah, I think Elaine has this personality that she's like, "I'm going to be friends with everybody unless they give me a reason not to be friends with them."
She does that.
And think of her first meeting with Rand. I know Rand is Kabiran or whatever, but she was immediately friends with him until he gave her a reason not to be.
And
do you think Egwene is that way?
I don't think Egwene is that way.
No.
I do not either.
Well, I think Egwene might just be receptive to other people's energies that they put off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's always wanted to learn something new, and I think with Elaine. She probably never got the opportunity to really have friends, she was probably watched all the time. And so, this is probably a really great time for her because she has, even though she's under all of the rules of the tower, she's probably a little more free in some senses. So I've been thinking about this. Who do you think was the most studious student? Do you think
Egwene? No.
You think it was Egwene?
No, actually, because Egwene didn't want to follow the rules. She wanted to get on with it and do everything. So she was kind of a cheater.
I think Elaine.
Elaine
was studious.
Plus, Elaine's been through probably a lifetime of studying history and royal stuff that they study.
Right.
Trades and imports of Two Rivers, apparently.
All that political stuff.
Yeah, so she's had practice. I know Egwene's been trying to learn how to be a wisdom and stuff, but I think learning to be a queen is a lot more in depth, and she's probably done it her whole life, so she's got those strategies and skills that go along with learning effectively.
Do you think every time someone is sent to the Mistress of Novices, she's getting hit?
Yes.
No, I think there are times when you go when you get a talking to maybe.
Will she use compulsion? Does she use compulsion on people?
No.
Who? What?
I don't think
Mistress of Novices.
Why not?
I don't think she wants to get caught.
I would.
I don't think that she would.
Well, to punish them, why not?
Anyway. Gross.
Right, so,
I don't think you can do that.
I want to bring this point back around because this is great, and there's been a lot of chatter in the chat.
Tamlin, ooh, I like. That's like me calling Todd Todrick.
Yeah. So Tamlin ran away from home in 956 NE, which is I think the New England Patriots. He was born in 940, so he is 15 or 16. Her personal headcanon is that Tam grew up in an abusive home, and that inspired him in part to be the best damn dad in the world. Holy shit.
Okay, let's move. Let's go on with that. Is the grandfather in the Two Rivers still then? And they just don't have any contact?
Well, but he's either dead or not. But let's go even further.
All right, yeah.
If that theory is correct, then that means TAVERN or the pattern made Tam grow up in an abusive home for him to be so amazing. Be so amazing for Rand. Everything leads to another thing. Every choice, every interaction, right? Because we're all humans, right? So how far does this shit go? Because Tam was almost as if he was designed in a beaker to be perfect for Rand, to make him be able to channel, to make him be able to like be hard and soft at the same time. Rand was the perfect, like, he was the yin and yang, right? Like, so for that, yeah, I believe maybe he had an abusive family, or maybe he had the best fucking parents in the world. I don't know what it was, but something happened that propelled Tam to be amazing.
I would have loved to have heard, yeah, Uncle Jeramal is 2 miles that way, but we don't talk to him. And that's all we hear.
I mean, we also know that Tam knew the story of the Dragon Reborn because in the Raven prologue, he was telling a group of children basically the entire story of the Dragon Reborn, right?
Yeah, Bran's like, I love when you tell this story.
Yeah, like he was telling the story as if he was a fucking Gleeman. Like he had these kids were enraptured. So he knew the story in and out. What the F? So I believe that he knew that his baby boy that he found randomly on Dragonmount was the Dragon Reborn, and he raising him in seclusion, away from everybody, wouldn't allow a woman to come into the home. Why would you allow a woman to come in the home? That could be a dark friend. It could be a subterfuge.
Black Ops? Yeah, we're staying way out in the Westwood.
Let's go and let's make sure that there's all sorts of shit about let's make sure Bran Alvear doesn't let strangers in.
He just wanted a bachelor pad.
It's the Thatchler pad we call it. But that is a Ryan. That is a very.
What if he was just so in love with Kari that he never wanted to get married again?
Well, that's what I'm saying. He can't trust anybody. His life mission was to raise this boy to save the world. He knew what was going on.
I mean, I haven't gotten remarried.
Yeah, because your child might save the world. Why allow some weird man to come in?
Yeah, I don't think it's.
But are all the good wives just tossing themselves at you every time you come into town?
All the good
Tam's beating them off with the stick.
You don't know.
I don't think it's unreasonable to think that Tam wanted to give all of his energy to his son, Yeah.
I mean, I made that choice for my daughters. I literally at some point said, you know what? I'm not going to do this dating life thing. I'm not going to, because I want to focus this time and energy on my daughters.
So,
this is a conservative time and a conservative place.
Zuul, that's amazing.
Yeah,
let's
his decision. His decision is rare amongst these two rivers, and everyone notes it. They're like, you need a woman in that farm, and he has never even that we see shown any interest. We don't hear about Tam Althor dating. We don't hear about any of this stuff, but we hear he is a hot item. And is disturbed by everyone throwing themselves at him.
I think he was doing Bran's wife.
Oh no, honey cake Marion.
You have evidence
dark friend, Ryan.
What?
Ryan is a dark friend.
Ryan is a dark friend.
Ryan's dark friend confirmed. You're talking about my Marin that way. You're talking about the best father and the best mother in all of the stories, and I don't know.
She is the greatest in all the story. She is the greatest. Bran's all puffy and huffy, and she just smiles at him fondly.
Does that diminish her? If she's fucking Tam on the side, that diminishes her? No, it makes her more amazing.
It makes her cuter. It makes her a cuter.
She's complicated, and she.
I'm not gonna kink shame. Ryan, is it time for a thank you, Internet?
We are very.
Thank you, Internet.
It is.
Thank you, Internet.
Thanks, Internet.
We really appreciate it. If it wasn't for the Internet, we wouldn't know each other. So.
All right, so we have called the Internet. Mostly wetlander humor on Reddit, but we have called the Internet for memes, and trust me guys, this week the memes are Moraine heavy because of Rosamund Pike and her 3 seconds flash.
Nice.
So we do have some memes. So we're going to thank the Internet and enjoy their the fruits of their labor.
And before you do that, I need to say goodbye to you all.
Bye, Dana.
Goodbye, Zuul. Thank you for joining us, babe.
Thank you, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank you. I'm sorry. Thank you, Internet. Bye, Zuul.
Why are we apologizing?
Thank you, and I'm sorry.
Because what we do. It's what we do. All right, so this is our new segment called Thank You, Internet.
Thank you, Internet.
Yep. Where we...
Oh, that's easy.
We spend so much time on the internet, we thought we'd share the findings we have.
I like this.
And this week,
I know, it's great.
we have the greatest drop from Amazon. It is the Moraine 3-second little video clip. And there's been many memes, and let's start with this one. All right, here we go.
So this was submitted by a white cloak.
Emerald
is she playing a
Fennel-
witch?
Okay.
It's Moraine Damage.
Oh, and
Sorry, Tree. Put me in the middle, right?
No, it's fine. I'm
All
having
right,
fun.
the next one.
This is when the dragon thinks he knows better. We got a bunch. We can keep.
Thank you, Internet. All right.
Oh, this is from Rob, the Wiki World News. Burned out or burnt out? Aes Sedai checks herself into rehab in Maryland. Her love for the Two Rivers Leaf was clearly slowed her mind.
Nynaeve is throwing Maureen on the bus.
Rob from Wiki World News. Thank you, Internet. Thank you,
Internet. Next.
I don't even know what this means. Rivers Leaf and you get super zooted. I think that's a bong. I think that's she's trying to be high.
I'm like
Hi, Sedai.
I said, oh, that wins.
All right, yes, Hi Sedai. That reminds me of my dictated notes segment. All right.
Hi Sedai, yeah.
Thank you, Internet. All right. All right. Next. When he blocks you on everything, but you still got something to say.
They're not all gems, but they're out there, guys.
Yes. Thank you, Internet.
Thanks, Internet.
Swing and a miss. Swing and a miss.
Yeah. All right, this is the books in the show. Oh, hold on. Something about LGBT rep and a pillow fight.
Oh.
okay.
Rafe Junkins saying there's rep in the books and the show. And there's
that means the representation of lesbian characters in the books and the show.
Thank you, Internet.
Thank you, Internet.
Kinda. Thanks, kinda.
I guess, yeah.
We gotta make these bigger, brother.
Thanks,
Dan.
maybe.
I know.
I'll fix that. I'll fix that next time.
Let's figure that out. All right, moving right along. We have. What does this one say?
It says, "You're so pretty. How did we match? I like ugly men."
And this is.
This was from Guido Kane to Brigitte.
All right. Thank you, Internet.
Thank you,
I
Internet.
like that one. That was good.
What else we got, right?
Here we go.
This is when Nynaeve asks, but what about Egwene for the millionth time on the journey to Whitebridge? It will be as the will will.
Thank you, Internet.
Thank you, yeah.
Children.
There's so many of these things. The Nynaeve things, they're great.
That reminds me of the Smurfs when they're traveling to see Gargamel.
Smurf off, mother Smurfer.
Are we there yet, Papa Smurf? Not far now. Smurf off.
Smurf off, mother Smurfer. Why don't you suck my Smurf, you mother?
All right, well, tell us what this one is, brother Dan.
All right, this is a chart. Knows what sex is and fucks, Matt. Doesn't know what sex is and fucks, Randall. Knows what sex is and doesn't fuck, Egwin. Doesn't know what sex is and doesn't fuck, Perrin.
Yeah. Thank you, Internet.
Thanks, Internet.
Thanks, Internet.
Thanks,
I really
Internet.
appreciate it, Internet.
Seriously, I just pulled them all.
All right, more Moraine. Here we go.
Blah, he's just an old gleeman along for the ride. Why? He saves your life from interdimensional aliens.
Wait, what?
All right, that's a Tom Maryland.
What?
Tom Maryland. He's just an old gleeman along for the ride.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Internet.
Look,
I mean,
so
I
we
guess.
got to look at these Moraine memes as like the Drake memes, where he's like no, and then he's pointing, saying yeah.
I thought
we
it
already
was more
did
of
fine.
the, oh my
Yeah.
god, it gets more epic as you go along, or mine.
All right, so here's a picture. Corporate needs you to find the difference between the picture and this picture. It's Moraine Damage glowing, and I don't know what that is. And the girl from The Office says they're the same picture.
It's an interdimensional alien.
That's what it is.
I want to
Internet.
know
Which I didn't know we're in the show. We're in the
I know. I
book,
want
so-
to figure out where the whatever that aliens came from.
What
Like,
dimension?
How did aliens show up here? What are we talking about?
Well, because she turned on
Alright.
glowy.
Fuck.
If you
All right,
freeze
guys.
it at the right moment,
Brother
she's
Dan.
on glowy.
Brother
Yeah.
Dan.
Talk to
I
me.
think. I think we can spend an hour on that topic.
Talk to me, Goose.
Are we? Thank you, Internet.
Thank you, Internet.
Thanks, Internet.
You internet.
We love the Thank You, Internet bit. All right, Tavern patrons.
It's
You
very
guys
funny.
can- Everyone can keep talking.
Okay.
Oh, that's a lot of pressure.
How's everyone doing?
Skeeter says the thin are aliens. I believe that's the implication.
Ooh, you're right.
That's
I forgot
interesting.
about
And also, I mean, I think Delusions was there first.
Wait,
And,
the Ogie
Ben
are
Butler.
also.
Okay, yeah,
Right,
Ben Butler got there
yeah.
with that. Ilfin, Effin, Ogre.
Wow, a lot of people
All right,
have come
hey,
through with that.
hey,
So I
here's a
feel dumb
question.
now.
Is there
Thank you,
any?
Internet.
Is there anywhere in the books where we see any evidence of like a spaceship or a crash landing?
The Ogier,
Where?
the book of translation.
We hear about that, but we don't see any evidence of a ship per se. We do see the two lines that are flying across when they're in the Portal Stone world, which indicates like some sort of contrail. But that's the only thing that I can think of besides like Age of Legends stuff.
I don't know. There was somebody, I think, at Jordan Con this year who brought up the theory that the Ogier Steading is actually spaceship that's underground.
Oh, that's right.
And
was
the
trying to
book
think
of
of the
translation
connection.
is, it says in the book that they're like, to leave the world. We need this to leave the world. So they think it's like an instruction manual to how to drive these spaceships that have been here for like thousands of years.
Great.
That's
funny.
amazing.
Which I
Like,
absolutely love.
That's the bridge. It's a great stone. That's the bridge.
Yeah.
Of,
I love it.
Can we say, is there any thought that Ogiers are just weird religious people?
no, they're definitely aliens.
Wait, no.
Yeah.
In the
Is there any-
book of what?
Bro, everyone in this fucking book are weird religious.
Yeah, I know,
zealots.
but I mean,
What the
but
hell?
they
So
take
what-
it like to
Well, if I met Moraine, I would think she's a fucking zealot who is like made no sense. And I'd be like, "Well, get out of my face! Like, I don't want your pamphlet. I don't want to hear about the wheel weaving anything, motherfucker. Get out of my face." She's such a zealot, but apparently she's cracked. So I don't know what to make of it.
right. It is annoying how often she mentions the wheel weaves.
That's her thing.
Like, yeah, you wonder why she doesn't have a mate.
Yeah, there's a lot of religion.
What? Wait, what, right? What, she doesn't have a mate?
Yeah, you wonder why she doesn't have a mate. I'm inspired by Rob.
Yeah, mate, they just
guys,
don't
it's been good having you. Thanks for joining. Bye.
Why is Moraine single? Let's talk about that.
she just doesn't fuck him. They're
Ah!
like they're
Do we think that Moraine has had sex in those 20 years? I do not.
Like at all or with Lan?
Not like at all.
All right.
no.
Has she had a tryst with like a Sen buoy?
No. Like, here's the deal. Like,
Toss a little buoy?
you could use the one power for magical things. Like, if you really use your imagination, she's like having the time of her life. She doesn't need a man. at all. Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's all airflows. Like once the door closes, it's airflows.
Airflows and
all
heat.
day, every day.
And touch of fire. Touch of water.
Yeah, I don't think she has, but I don't know. That's interesting.
Because Lan has.
Oh,
Why?
yeah.
How do you know that?
Well, because she says so.
When you were drunk in the tavern?
She says so. She feels jealous. She's like, I know Lan's fucked, but this is the first time I'm jealous over Nynaeve.
Yeah. So, I mean, you could feel that through the bond, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think she learned how to block it out, I think.
I was dicing with the warder one time, and suddenly he got all shivery. And he's like, God damn, Elena Mana. That's her name.
Elena Mana?
Elena Mana.
Oh, getting it on, Mana.
Got all shivery.
Alana probably felt every time Nynaeve and or not Alana, what the hell is her name? Who was the one that bonded Lan after, or that was Maureen passed it to?
Yeah.
Myrelle or whatever. Yeah.
Myrelle, yeah.
She felt it every time that Nynaeve and Lan did it.
That's pretty voyeuristic.
I wish that we got to experience that through Myrelle's brain.
We may.
Like Scott said, they can shield it to block it out, but like,
why would you?
Well, I mean, like, clearly Maureen had to consciously be like, "Oh shit, that's happening." Shield it.
I mean,
right?
Maybe
like,
she didn't shield it all the time. Maybe she orgasmed from that. You know what I mean? Maybe it was kind of a thing. She didn't need a man because Lan did it.
Yeah,
I feel a mouth on a penis I don't own. Wow. Wow, this is great.
Let's take a turn and
yeah, sorry. All right, Ryan, what else?
Nothing.
Thank you.
Absolutely nothing. Like I was gonna end this shit 10 minutes ago.
Treehouse of Art.
Yeah.
It's the Treehouse of Art.
It's the best.
You guys are the best. Thanks for hanging out with us. What are you drinking there, MK?
Ooh.
Oh, you finally
know what I'm
them.
drinking? I'm drinking Ryan. Whoop, can you see it? I'm drinking Ryan.
Ryan.
I'm drinking.
Yes.
You're drinking Ryan's
Butter
cream.
Dan.
Butter Dan.
Yeah.
Butter Dan and Ryan.
Oh my God, guys! If everyone should know, if you join my Patreon and you get a certain level, I will give you bottles of my essence. You can drink Ryan.
Gross.
Yeah.
What level is that, Ryan?
It's so gross, but the labeling is so cool.
Good,
the bottle looks so cool.
No. Like, so MK cannot be like held responsible for anything she said this entire night. I did not
drinking Ryan juice.
Yeah, I didn't know you were drinking my essence. My
Ryan
bad.
juice.
My bad. It's a dark place. Tread lightly.
She's not had a honey cake, but she's had a Ryan shot.
It sounds the Ryan.
Yeah. Who needs honey? All right, ladies. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
You're the best. You're our best friends, and you kind of were before.
I'm new. I don't know what you're talking about.
But you're still my best friend now. So thank you for joining us. We do this stuff every Thursday and Sunday. On Thursday we do it at 8 p.m. It's a spoiler-free conversation with a first-time reader. On Sundays is when we get loose. We have guests on. And we talk spoiler stuff. Please like and subscribe to all our content. We have playlists. Go ahead and join that. We also have a Patreon, I think, that's up there. Ryan, we have Ryan's Essence for sale.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, top tier.
You know, I didn't even realize it until I was pouring the drink right before the show, and I was like, "Oh my God, that's perfect."
Oh my gosh, it's Ryan's juice.
Yeah.
Rob, thank you for joining us. I know it's late each and every time you join us, and I feel bad and I feel honored.
We appreciate
I just love you, man. Tongue. All right, guys. Take care. Be good humans. We'll see you next time.
All right.
Make it